Across the UK, online and on DAB. Access all radios.
Talk Radio. Give it some lip. Talk Radio.
Good evening, dear listener. Iain Lee, live from a listener's house in Manchester. You don't need to send the police just yet. I think we're getting on very, very nicely. Do give us a call, though. 0344 499 1000. Thank you.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Get an earful of unusual nocturnal emissions with radio's Lord of Misrule, Iain Lee. No relation, thank God.
Unfiltered Night Talk with the original king of unconventional conversation. Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Ed's got a little chubby going on there because Ed's in the studio producing the main show. This is his chance. He produces the James Wales show, but that kind of produces itself because James is an old hack at this. But because we're out on location, Ed is barking instructions like nobody's business, and he's loving it, isn't he, Catherine?
Wielding the power.
He is absolutely loving it. Good evening, dear listener. We are coming live from a home, a residence, a private residence in Manchester. Remind me why we were doing this, Catherine. It seemed like a good idea at some point.
Well, we're about, aren't we, this weekend? In
We're
Manchester?
about.
We thought we'll go and call in and see someone.
We are about, as we are performing tomorrow evening at the 3 Minute Theatre, which you're both invited to. I know you're not a fan, so you. Have you got tickets? Oh, yeah. Well, but put your microphone. If you don't mind, you don't have to talk if you don't want to. But why don't you tell us introduce yourselves?
Nope.
Hello.
Yes.
Oh, it's right in front of my face. That's really weird.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, introduce myself.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Sarah.
Hello, Sarah.
Yes.
And you're a writer.
Yes.
And you are an excellent hostess.
I make good coffee. That's not necessarily the defining, level.
And who's this gentleman? I'm speaking about the dog.
This is Indy Pops.
No, go on.
Indy Pops is my service dog, and he's wonderful, and he's absolutely passed out cold right now.
Now, is this a Labrador? I don't know what dogs are.
He's a golden retriever.
Well, I know what dogs are. I don't know the make of dogs. He's a
make of dog. My boss said the same thing. He's a breed. It's a breed of dog.
Okay.
He's a golden retriever.
Yes.
And he's a pure breed golden retriever, and he's white.
His service at the moment seems to be
sleeping
on the floor,
snoring. Occasional fart.
Being very friendly and then just passing out. That's his job, is it?
That's what he does. He sits next to me and I can stroke him, and it's very calming.
He's adorable.
When I have strange people in my living room doing radio shows.
and let's just get this out. Let's just get this out here. You don't like the radio show.
No, I just said what I've heard of it is really not my cup of tea.
You called my callers
dingleberries.
Well, yes. Let's stick with that one. Let's stick with that one.
Yeah, you see, that's the one I was allowed to use. They're dingleberries.
Oh, I agree, Sarah. I agree completely, 100%. Well, listen, thank you very much for inviting us into your house.
You're welcome.
Who are you?
I'm John. I'm the person who invited.
You're the fan of the show.
Yes.
How difficult was it? And I find this quite often when I've been out doing live shows where it's there's a lot of men there that are very enthusiastic, and a lot of girlfriends and wives that are there and are thinking, "You owe me one. You owe me one." What was the deal with Sarah to allow this to happen?
I have many brownie points stored up. I think that's the main
he's
reason.
cashing them all in.
Yep.
The man is perfect. I have no other way of putting it. He is perfect.
I wouldn't go that far.
He is perfect.
And are you coming tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude, you should have said well, anyway. Okay, well, thank you.
Obviously, I'm not, but I said, I'm not going. I said, John will go with you. John's his other friend. So he and his other friend.
John and Johns. Yeah.
Two Johns.
Is John a fan, or is you cashing his brownie points with John?
I'm dragging him into it.
I think he will be by the end. They have the same sort of sense of humour.
Well, listen, thank you for letting us use your house.
Sure.
You're going to go to bed at some point.
I'm not up for much longer, I don't think.
If we make too much noise, are you going to stamp
on the floor, yeah.
You want me to? No, it's all right. My bedroom's on the other side. You're good.
Will you turn that bloody racket down? I'm trying to sleep.
It's 11 o'clock at night.
But listen, it is your house. Chip in whenever you want. Go out if you want. We can trust us with the animals. I'm more of a cat person, and I've seen the cats wandering around. Go and watch telly. Whatever you want to do, it's your house. So thank you for letting us
You
stay.
are more than welcome.
Saying
we
that,
promise we
dear
won't
list-
nick anything.
Sorry?
We promise we won't nick anything.
Well, I mean, I can't promise that, but I have a medical condition where sometimes...
Kleptomania.
Thank you very much indeed. Sometimes I find myself... Who was it? Was it Winona Ryder that got...
yeah, she
Yeah,
was,
shoplifting.
a little bit of
into
trouble with
shoplifting.
that. She was into shoplifting.
Well,
Come on.
apparently it's a thing.
More a cry for help than a need for things.
Yeah, I mean, we
She
could...
was just going in and putting things on and just walking out with them on, wasn't she?
But she was... I mean, she's damaged goods, though, isn't she? Because she was famous when she was, like, 13 or something, and that's always an uneasy transition. Name one child star that didn't go nuts.
Justin Timberlake.
Well, hang on. He was a man?
No,
How
no,
old
no,
was
he was in the Mickey Mouse Club when he was about 12.
Yeah.
Him
11
and
or
Britney,
12.
I was
contemporaries.
saying with Britney, yeah.
Okay, right, well, he's the exception that
Yeah,
proves
he
the rule.
is. He is.
What does that mean, the exception that proves the rule? That's a nonsense. That's just a cop-out, isn't it? But no one challenges it. They should challenge it more. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. We are sat here on the living room floor drinking coffee. You are more than welcome to call in, dear listener. We are in Manchester. Tomorrow we have the day free to ourselves. I don't know what to do in Manchester.
Well, I'm going out. I'm going to see my gran.
What? Really?
Yeah.
You've got the car?
Yep, so
You're
enjoy
joking.
yourself.
Are you really?
Yeah, I've got to go and see my gran. She needs a bed changing.
You can come for a walk with us and the dog.
Maybe not.
I've come away from home to get away from walking dogs. This is not what is there to see in Manchester? There's the Frank Sidebottom statue.
Oh, yeah.
Timperley.
Definitely
Yeah.
go for
Timperley.
that.
You're going to need a car for that.
See,
now.
that's someone else I don't understand. The man with the paper mache head.
Well,
No,
we
it
lived
wasn't
in
paper mache,
Timperley for a while.
It was a real head. He was born like that.
Was he?
Shouldn't
Oh,
make
yeah.
fun- shouldn't
Are
make
you
fun of-
sure?
Shouldn't make fun of people with big.
I think he was buried like that.
I think he. Imagine his coffin. Oh,
It would
boy.
have to be
The
very
time
large.
team in about 200 years' time.
And the head will still be preserved. God bless him. 0344 499 1000. Well, what else is there to do, mate? We've already had the Catherine Boyle tour
Walkden,
of
yeah.
poverty.
What?
I grew up there, and then I went down to the shops there, and I sided pots there.
I've never used the term "side in the pots." I only ever hear it from you. I'm washing
Okay,
the pots.
but we've seen.
Showed you where I was allowed to go to the shop, but instead me and my sister went to the woods. I had to
Yeah.
go on the rope swing, fell off it,
Yeah.
came back.
Yeah.
Mum looked at us covered in mud and said, "Where have you been?" And we said, "Oh, we just went to the shop, but we fell in a puddle. We fell in a puddle from head to toe."
And you charged me £15 for that tour.
Yeah.
That was
It's a
outrageous.
one-off. It's a one-off.
So you can call in and talk about Manchester. You can call in and talk about, you know the usual standard. Well, here's the thing. Normally, I'd have a big pile of all the newspapers beside me, but I'm not even bothered looking at the papers today because it's all Philip. It's all Prince Philip. We listened to Any Questions on Radio 4. And it's like low rent question time. They still have Farage on. What's the point of that? The party's dead. Anyway, one of the questions was, will you miss Prince Philip now he's stepping down from public
Not
life?
one person said, "I don't really know him."
Well, they're all going, oh, yeah, it's been a really I think it will be a really sad day when he steps down, and it's a great Why didn't anyone go, will you miss him? Nah, not really. No, not at all. No, they're all saying...
They're all going on as if he'd already popped his clogs, weren't they?
Yeah, well, that picture of him today on the front pages of the papers, though, I don't want to be disrespectful, but he does look like he's in mid-change. From human to lizard. He does. Have you seen it?
Yeah, unfortunately I have.
He does look like he's
He's a very old man.
Well, I know, and I'm not anti-royal.
No.
You know, I quite like the royals. I shouldn't, but I quite like them. But it's just the whole, you're going to miss Prince Philip? No, not really.
I'm going to miss his comments.
Yes, we're all going to miss, because who else is going to be casually racist?
No.
They're the people from the Netherlands, sir, not the nether regions.
I mean, the only reason in 2017 we're allowed to say the word slitty eyes is because of Prince Philip. He's broken down boundaries
Did you see?
for us.
Did you see Tommy Walsh's tweet about this yesterday? He
The
said-
gardener,
No,
Tommy Walsh.
no, the one from Pugwash.
Oh, Thomas Walsh.
Thomas Walsh,
Tommy Walsh
sorry.
is the gardener.
Yeah, well, anyway, Thomas Walsh was saying, I hope that they're going to give the same amount of respect to Mel Gibson when he steps down.
Why does he say that?
Because Mel Gibson says things that are out of order as well, doesn't he?
Well, but he specifically hates the Jewish community.
All right, sugar tits.
Sorry? You've had caffeine.
That was my favourite Mel Gibson moment. But also,
You've had caffeine.
I know, because that was a good comment, and then he was next to a really bad comment, wasn't it?
What is going on with you?
Sorry.
What? I feel a bit woozy. What's going on? What's in these coffees, Sarah? What have you done? So I don't know what there's nothing else in the news. The only other thing in the news, the fact that we're all screwed because of politics.
It's not exactly news, though, is it?
Well, it's not news. It's just a slow descent into the mire. We're all doomed. But that's it. So I don't know what's been happening in the papers or the news. So maybe someone could phone in.
Read us a paper.
And read. We did that as a phone-in once.
Yeah, it works.
So we didn't get the papers delivered for the breakfast show, and so we said, "Could you phone in and read us a paper?" And
people did.
People did, Sarah. To be honest, even I thought that show was a bit ropey. That was one of the ones.
I thought that was a moment of genius.
I would have agreed with you and thought, "Will you listen to this rubbish for?"
Yeah, it's a bit dodgy. Though.
He's really rinsing it here. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. I'm slowing down my speech, Ed, which means let's go to a break.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Yes. Shel Talmy's coming on at midnight. Now, how is this going to work? Because he's in America and he's 79. Mm-hmm. We are in Manchester. Ed is in London.
Yes. Ed's going to ring him.
Yes.
And he's going to play the... Do you really want to know this?
Yeah, I do. I do want to know how it's going to work because I don't understand the technology.
He's going to play the phone down your headphones.
He's going to do what Batman... Remember when Batman used to? You get two phones and
yes.
just put
that's what he's going to do.
He's going to do that,
is
he? Wowzers. Yeah. Okay. 0344 499 1000 is the phone number. None of these... I nearly swore then.
Don't.
That's your influencer. I nearly called them what you called them. None of these suckers are calling in tonight. Why is that?
Not even Alan Caddick. Is it karaoke night?
It could possibly be, yes. Don't put out. We don't need Caddick, but none of these suckers are calling in. I'm tempted to just wait for someone to call in.
Yeah, all right then.
Just wait. See what happens. It's a bit awkward being guests in your house and being silent, but
we've got cookies. We've got nothing but time.
No.
Yeah, we've got cookies and snacks. We're good.
Here we go then. Let's
cookie.
I will have in a little bit. Are they? Oh, look at the size.
They're Jaffa cakes,
yes.
And then there's ones with raisins in. And are they chocolate?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Chocolate.
Later on in the evening, you'll be able to hear me drinking John's Golden Milk as well. That's actually happening. But until we get a call, I'm not going to continue. So 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Let's just wait. I'm playing chicken with the listener. How's it looking, Ed? Are they ringing in?
Pretty empty at the moment.
Pretty empty at the moment, okay. And this is definitely going out on the radio, yeah?
Yeah, it definitely is.
You sure?
Yeah.
And no one's calling in?
Not yet.
Can you make a test phone call to... No, because maybe the phones... Cause I'm
it's
very
a valid
popular,
reason.
It's very, very popular.
What's the number again?
0344.
Yep.
499.
Yep.
1000. Just to make sure the... Cause
someone is calling.
That's you, Ed, you muppet. You just
no,
dialed
it's not me,
number.
it's someone else.
Well, unbelievable. This is maybe Beverly Turner was right.
I'm sure she was right.
Student radio with no producers.
Well...
Beverly Turner slagging off Beverly Turner of all people slagging off Talk Radio. Flipping heck, I mean, come on. I've heard her show. No, steady, that was me. That was me.
No need for cattiness, is there?
Beverly. That was below the belt. Let's go to Craig.
Evening, Ian, evening, Car.
Yeah. Hang
on a minute. What took you so long, mate? You could hear us struggling. You could hear us embarrassed in front of our new friends, Sarah and John. And yet you chose just to sit there and listen. What's that all about, buddy?
I was enjoying the embarrassment.
Okay, no, fair enough. I respect that. You've got to respect that. That's honesty. All right, then. What have you got for us, Craig?
Well, I'm glad to hear you're sounding all right now. How's your tonsils?
There's a question. There's a question. Do you know what, Craig? I'm still absolutely shattered. Cass drove up today, and all I did was doze in the car. I woke up at one point to call
Shout at a lorry driver for me. Yeah, that was nice.
He did. He was doing a very rude gesture out of the window.
He was being very rude in general.
So I told him exactly where to go.
But I thought it was going to be a fun road trip, Craig. Some road trip.
No, I'm not very welcome. And then as soon as we got to the hotel, I said, all right, Kath, I'll see you in a couple of hours. Where are you going? I'm going to go have a lie down. And I went and had a little lie down. I was absolutely shattered. And here's the thing, that I'm on the penicillin, right? Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like the last day today or tomorrow. And you've got to take the full course, guys. You've got to take the full course.
Yeah, because he doesn't feel like it's doing anything.
You've got to
right
take the
end.
full course. Well, I keep forgetting the last couple of days. I keep forgetting to take the penicillin. So today, I'm supposed to take it 2 4 times a day. Today I've only taken 2 times a day. So I'll have to have one when we get back, and then carry one over.
That's an excellent story.
But how? No, don't. What is that? What is that attitude? Would you say that to me if I was in a wheelchair? And my story involved wheelchairs?
Let me have a think about that.
So, Craig, in answer to your question, I am struggling. I'm suffering. But I am
not in silence.
We did. I tell you what, John and Sarah, and you won't. Please don't take this the wrong way. When we got to the hotel, we had a phone call from our boss, missed call, and I said, "Oh, brilliant." Oh, brilliant. I bet they want to do a serious election special and they've cancelled the show tonight. But they hadn't cancelled the show tonight, so this is why we got to come here.
We'd have come round anyway.
Although
You'd have been welcome.
Thank you very much.
Watch a bit of telly.
Craig, what's your beef, buddy? What you got for us?
Well, I had my tonsils out. I was about 20 something.
Yeah.
And they tell you're going to have ice cream. They gave me cornflakes.
What? Oh, no, they give you cornflakes to knock the scabs off.
Oh, that's disgusting.
It's true. I remember that now. They do, don't they?
Yeah.
They give you... Listen to this sentence, Catherine.
I don't want to hear it again. I heard it the first time.
Look me in the eye. They give you cornflakes to knock the scabs off.
Ooh.
Doctors. Doctors. Sorry, Sarah.
Is that making you gip as well?
Sorry. But then they give you nice ice cream. Nice ice cream. Nice ice cream. Is that okay? Is that good?
Happy ice cream.
Happy ice cream.
Happy ice cream.
Lovely ice. Hey, what's the best flavour of ice cream?
Pistachio.
Oh,
I like that.
John?
Ooh, birthday cake.
Sorry?
Kind of pervert are you?
What answer is that to a question? That doesn't even make sense.
It's a very nice flavour.
Birthday cake ice cream?
Yeah, Baskin Robbins jobbies.
Flipping it. For me... I'll ask you,
I made apple crumble ice cream once. It was nice.
For me...
That sounds good.
Vanilla is the king of all flavours.
It is good.
But failing that, if I want to go exotic, if I want to mix it up and have one of your fancy Baskin Robbins, mint choc chip. That is a classic. Mint choc chip. Mwah!
What made you think of that? Because it'll knock the scabs off.
No, that doesn't. I was trying to help Sarah get away from the scabs.
Oh, sorry, I brought it right back there again.
It's not good.
I've got old school rum and raisin.
Do you know what? I had a rum and raisin.
Oh, disgusting, mate.
But I had it about 2 years ago. We went to the seaside, saw rum and raisin, and I just had it on a whim because it's what my granddad used to always have. Flipping lovely. But as a kid, I thought it was disgusting.
I'll tell you what I hate. Tutti Frutti. And also brandy butter. What the hell is brandy butter all about? It's butter that tastes of brandy.
Yeah.
Jeez, that is disgusting.
It's a boozy spread.
It's awful. It's an awful, awful thing. Anyway, Craig, you were telling us a story.
Well, no, I had my tonsils out and it hurt like hell.
Yep,
but
great.
I used to hallucinate when I had tonsillitis as a kid.
Thank you. See, I'm not the only one. Yes.
I used to hallucinate. Not good.
Is it because it's an infection near the brain?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if it gets into your system, it messes. It's poison, isn't it?
Poison.
Poison in your blood. I used to hallucinate bugs were climbing all over me.
Yeah. No.
But, yeah.
I believed that my severely disabled mum had somehow driven over to my house and was downstairs waiting for me to go down and talk to her. Yes, that's what I thought. And I confused... You'll like this one, Sarah. Because I've got this cat, Velvet, that I've had since 2001. And I got confused, and I was going to... Well, I don't know which cat this is. Is this Velvet or Toby? Toby was the cat I had who died when I was 11. I was travelling through time and space with cats. I was getting very... I don't know which cat this is. Is it Velvet or Toby? She's going, who's Toby? Oh, Toby got run over when we moved. It was our fault. We moved near a busy road. Of course he was going to get run over. Well, thanks for that, Craig.
No problem.
And then cut him off, Ed. Perfect. He's gone. That's how you do it. You see, that's how we do it. Who else have we got? Rocky.
Good morning, afternoon, evening. Right, I just want to ask you something, Ian. I sent you a couple of CDs last Tuesday to the Hatfields address. Have you received them?
Did you send me a Beach Boys before they became the Beach Boys CD, and a CD with a song on it called, I think it's called The Shooting of Mr. Lee?
It's a Mr. Lee, and then I Shot Mr. Lee, and an alternative version.
Yes. Thank you. It's gratefully appreciated. Do you not think it's weird sending a song to someone where it's the shooting of that person?
Well, I'm a professional oldies DJ, and I just thought it would be a little bit apt to send you something with your name in it.
Was it a threat? Are you threatening me? Are you Mark Chapman too?
No, I couldn't find anything else with Mr. Lee in it, that's all.
It's good that I know, I know, and thank you very much for that. It's greatly appreciated. I did have the Beach Boys CD already, so I now have two, which is groovy. And I'm aware of the Bobettes, the Mr. Lee song, of course, Mr. Lee, oh, Mr. Lee. I'm unaware of the sequel. And this is a thing that's kind of missing in pop these days. When groups would have a hit with a song, they'd follow it up with a sequel to the song. I'm assuming that's what this is, a sequel to the original.
Yes, it's continuing a story. There is actually quite a lot. There's a lot of it in the doo-wop era. There's a band called the Heartbeats, followed by Shep and the Limelights, and they originally did a song called "1,000 Miles from Home." Then they followed up with "500 Miles to Go," and then they had another one
Nearly
called
there.
"Daddy's Home."
Wow, that is
Which song did they? Daddy's Home?
Well, Daddy's Home was the third one in the series.
Is that the one that Cliff Richard did?
That's the one.
Daddy's home to stay. I'm not 1,000 miles away.
That's a reference to the first in the
trilogy.
trilogy.
There we go, you see.
Right, clever.
Deary
and
me.
then they did What Did Daddy Do? It's a very sad story about the single Tony Shep Shepherd, who after leaving the Heartbeats formed another band called Shep and the Limelights, obviously named after himself.
Yes.
And he got sued by the record company that had the name to the Heartbeats. And he ended up living in absolute poverty and died penniless in the mid-60s.
That's a jolly tale. They all did, though, didn't they? Anyone who was famous in the 50s and the 60s, generally, unless they got a revival in the 80s and 90s...
You're going to say died?
No, I'm not going to say died. I'm going to listen, please. If you were a pop singer in the 50s or 60s... most of them were skint because they got ripped off. They were getting like a halfpenny every album that was sold, but then off that halfpenny they had to pay their agents and everything. So they all lost money unless they had a revival in the 80s when they made their money back doing tours and stuff. I give you the Monkees as a primo exemplus.
Well, I mean, obviously my era of music is back to the mid to late 50s, and the doo-wop artists and the early R&B artists that come the early 60s with the advent of soul and Motown got left behind, and they struggled really hard. A lot of them went onto the cabaret circuit, but you're right, it wasn't until the early 80s with the advent of the whole UK rockabilly revival with the Stray Cats and the Jets, etc., that a lot of the weekenders and all-dayers started to spring up around the country, that they got a whole new revival.
That's it, sort of Northern Soul is what kicked in.
Well, and here's the thing, you mentioned the cabaret circuit. What people don't know is that you would get acts like Jimi Hendrix would go and play the cabaret circuit. Jimi Hendrix, you get a package of Jimi Hendrix, Engelbert Humperdinck, and possibly Cat Stevens would go and play like Chicken in a Basket. Imagine going for a Chicken in a Basket cabaret, and Jimi Hendrix comes out and is doing all that with his guitar.
Doing
a wheel on his guitar. I never got Hendrix. I really thought that. I mean, that
he was a very sexy man, wasn't he? I think that was part of the thing.
No, he wasn't. What Hendrix was he believed he was sexy. Mm-hmm. That's the trick. That is the trick. If you believe you're sexy, then people will fall for that.
He's like Lenny Kravitz Mark 1.
Oh, Kravitz totally ripped off Hendrix. Yeah. But then can you name another black...
Prince.
But there's not many black rock and rollers. Mm-hmm. There's Phil Lynott in Thin Lizzy. There's not many, because I saw a brilliant documentary Have you seen this, Rocky? There's a brilliant documentary called A Band Called Death. And,
no, I haven't.
Oh, it's brilliant! It's brilliant! And it's about these three brothers, I think, in the 70s, and they formed like the 3 black guys, and they formed this hard rock group, and they released an album, and nothing ever happened, and it's kind of an undiscovered classic, and it's a really good film, and it puts forward the thing that there aren't any black rock bands. Name a black rock band.
Well, Love, I suppose, is.
Well, no, Love were mixed race.
Well, yeah.
There aren't any. And you think of all the rock bands in the 70s, like, I'm talking like rock, like, so you've got your Kiss, and you've got your Metallicas, and bands that aren't even necessarily as hard rock as that. Mm-hmm. And they're all white. Mm-hmm. Quite a lot of them are Jewish. But there is no black rock band. Can you think of? I can't think of one.
I can think of a Japanese one from the 80s called Vow Wow.
Who?
Vow Wow.
Vow Wow?
Yeah, from the 80s. They were part of the whole 80s early heavy metal scene. At the same time as ZZ Top and Rat.
And they are possibly Chinese or indeed Japanese?
Yes, they are. But that's about the only ones I can think that aren't non-American.
Rocky, thank you very much for your call. I'm pointing to the screen as though Ed is going to read that signal. Thank you, Rocky. 0344 499 1000. That is a good question. Which is why this film, A Band Called Death, is so good, because they were getting laughed at by their mates, these 3 brothers, because they were doing like hard rock, and it was unusual. I cannot think of and there are exceptions of rock stars, but even Prince. Well, Prince was rock, but there was still funk in there. Lenny Kravitz was rock, yeah. You could that would definitely count. But there aren't. Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm. It's because they have better voices, so it doesn't lend themselves to rock screaming.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, Hendrix, I thought was a terrible singer. Terrible singer, really.
Doesn't matter with rock, though, does it?
Everything about Hendrix was awful. It was attitude. 0344 499 1000. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Sorry, you just asked a very pertinent question. You feel free. By the way, the show is coming live from Sarah and John's house. Are we actually? We're not in Manchester, are we?
Greater Manchester, yeah.
The Greater Manchester area, and you have a new mayor.
Do we?
It would seem so.
Okay. So you've got your finger on the pulse.
No, I don't do it. It just makes me upset.
The whole world is going. Anyway, you asked a good question just then. Do you remember what it was?
I think I asked you something along the lines of, do you get an awful lot of stuff sent to you in the post?
Yes, from weirdos. Yes, we kind of do. The best one, although she's stopped now.
Oh, I miss her.
The purple letter lady. This lady would send letters with about 6, 7, 8 pages
of A4.
A4 purple.
I like purple.
Well, purple's fine.
Have you got colouring pencils? Because she does.
Yes. No, I don't write in colouring.
When you send a letter, do you put your name at the end of it?
Generally.
Because she doesn't.
She doesn't, but she does illustrations.
She does illustrations. She gives me life advice. She tells me where the show is going wrong.
And it's generally me.
Oh, it's you.
Oh dear.
She hates it. But she started writing at the other place, and then we've had a couple of letters. I did have one in my bag. I think I might have. Oh no, there we go.
Oh, good grief.
This is part of one. That's the kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff.
Well, the artwork's rudimentary. The colour's not really taking over the space much.
But it is heartfelt.
It is. There's a lot of love that's gone into that.
But this is my worry. There's too much love in that.
There's a lot of... she's drawn hearts.
There's too much. There's pictures on the other side as well. Yeah.
Is this? When's this from? Have I seen this one?
Yeah, that was the most. I think that was the most recent one.
I haven't seen
Healing energy.
Healing energy being sent to me via an anonymous letter.
Non-aggression, very important.
Yeah. So stuff like that is. They're both tilting their heads to read it.
She does space in your ear.
She does. She does. She does right round corners. So
yes. Doesn't she just?
So, in answer to your question, Sarah,
Yes.
And sometimes the listeners are very nice, and we get sent food. Never eat the food a listener sends in. The Mike Mendoza story from 1987. And sometimes people like Rocky will send in CDs and lovely things like that, and sometimes they'll send in books. There was someone, and again, this was another weird one. I think it was the same person, would order records or books for me off of Amazon and get them sent to the studio, but then wouldn't put their name on it. And that was... I find things without names on
Slightly disturbing.
I do, actually, because there's kind of a power thing there. By me sending something to you anonymously, I'm exerting a power over you.
I'm making you have this thing, and you don't know who I am.
Yeah.
I saw this and thought of you, but you'll never know who I am.
Yeah, it's that makes me a little uncomfortable.
No,
but
I put names on things when I sent.
well, good for you. That's
I sent Arnold Schwarzenegger a book called How to Be President.
Did you really?
He sent me a very nice letter back.
Did he?
But you didn't read it clearly.
Well, probably
Yet.
not.
Did he? Now, when you say he sent you a letter.
I imagine someone in his office sent me a letter, but it looked like a signature at the bottom. But I think it's probably a stamp.
Oh no, go with that. That's that. He signed that, definitely. That's brilliant.
I've got letters from the Pope and the Queen as well.
Flipping heck! This is. I've been telling you for 2 years to write to Yoko Ono.
Do it.
She'll die. Now we've mentioned Yoko Ono. We've activated the
Right.
curse.
Here's the promise. I'm going to do it on Monday.
You should write to these people. My sister wrote to Yoko Ono in the 80s, got a reply. She wrote to Paul McCartney in the 80s, got a reply from Paul McCartney. Sarah's had the Pope and the Queen.
I've only had Roald Dahl.
Which Pope? Pope John Paul II, the real
proper
Pope.
one.
Yeah, the one when I was a kid.
Yeah, the real
The one you
Pope.
got the Ladybird book for when he came to visit. You remember that?
That was the proper. He's a proper Pope. Let's go to Lewis. Good evening, Lewis. Oh, Lewis has dropped. Let's go. Oh, God. It's Paul in Stoke Poges, guys.
Hi, you're in Manchester.
Rhetorical question.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, okay, right.
Yes.
Can you go to Chinatown for a meal afterwards tonight? Chinatown in Manchester is the best Chinese place in the world.
Well, what about China?
Chinese food.
I would imagine China's better.
Okay, right. Chinatown for Chinese food is the best in this country.
That's narrowed it down ever so slightly, and I bet with a bit more work I could narrow it down even more. Do you want me to get a strawberries McDonald's milkshake from there?
Well, you can choose vanilla. I just don't agree with the chocolate one.
Disagree with it.
There you go. You're going to put that up as a quote on your website now, aren't you?
No.
Okay, I will say a black rock musician.
Yes.
Even though I think he might be mixed race, but I know he was born in Stoke-on-Trent.
Oh.
Slash from Guns N' Roses.
No.
Yeah, he was born in Stoke-on-Trent.
He lived in Milton Keynes for a long time.
He grew up.
Even though he was born in Britain, right, and he knows what slash means over here.
Yeah, I'm sure he does know what slash means. Yeah,
You're thinking of Jimi Hendrix
he
again.
still accepted that as a name. Yeah.
Okay, shall I tell you what his real name is?
Probably Paul.
It's got to do with Paul. It's got to do with Paul.
It's got to do with Paul.
His real name is Saul Hudson.
So nothing to do with Paul.
Saul being the biblical name for Paul, yes.
Okay. Wowzers. Okay, slash.
I've got a better one.
Go on.
Roachford.
Oh, no, that's not... Oh, God, that's as bad as the Lighthouse Family, Catherine.
Oh, nonsense. The Lighthouse Family is soft.
Roachford's
rocked.
bad.
Okay, admittedly only twice, but he rocked.
What was Roachford song they did?
Cuddly toy.
Yeah.
I hear Roachford when I'm shopping for my food round Asda or in the lift.
Well, you go to a very rock and roll supermarket, clearly.
The cat's
No,
on
it's
there
not
sniffing
Roachford.
cups.
It's not rock and roll.
Feel for you, baby.
That sounds like rock to me.
I can't. No, Roachford is pop and soul. I would say.
No.
Yes.
Soft rock.
Yes.
Okay, what about that duo that had that one-hit wonder? One was two guys. One
London
was
Boys.
a long-haired white guy, and the other one was a black guy. That was
London Boys.
No, they were, what was the name of their song?
London Boys.
Batman. No.
Do it again.
No, I'm not.
Do it again.
Go on, little one.
They had names.
They had names, did they?
They were as bad as that. That's what
so
you hear
right
in
in
the
your
supermarket.
description, Sarah.
You know the one. You know the duo I'm on about.
No.
Status quo.
No.
Was Status Quo
They weren't
black?
a duo,
One had
they
long
were a
hair.
band.
Yeah. Sing the song, Paul.
No, you're not going to persuade me into that. See, I'm going
The ones that did Man-Eater.
Hall & Oates aren't black.
I'm going to have to cheat and Google, aren't I?
Yeah, well, Paul, can you limit yourself to 5 or less calls this evening, please?
I'll only call you back once again with the answer to this band I'm on about.
Thanks very much, Paul.
Bye.
He's going to call us another 5 times.
At least.
At least. That man is, Man-Eater. Oh, here she comes. Have you seen the state of Hall & Oates now?
No, I imagine they look the same, don't they?
Well, only through the miracles of modern science.
That's what I mean.
What was that sketch show where they had Hall & Oates as detectives?
I don't know.
Was it? It was the one that no one really watched, and it was very good. Big Train.
Oh,
Big
right.
Train, and they had Hall & Oates as detectives on a council estate. I seem to remember it being very funny. 0344 499 1000, dear listener. We're coming live from Sarah and John's house in Greater Manchester. And the reason we're here, of course, is because Greater Manchester has got a mayor for the first time in 80 years. And so that's why I've just thought, that's why we're doing the show from here. Here's some ads.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over.
Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
They're always ready. Obviously, the fact that you've heard me saying always ready on air implies a certain
unreadiness.
Unreadiness, correct indeed. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Now, John, your golden milk.
Yes.
I have had several people when I was poorly last week, and I'm still poorly, guys, but I'm soldiering through it. Paul Stoke Poachers is gone, hasn't he? Yes, good. Okay, that's good. 0344 499 1000. Several people got in touch with me via the internet and said, Ian, what you need is golden milk. And I thought, hang on a second, this is a wind-up. But I'd heard of it before, actually. Ages and ages ago, someone had mentioned it. I thought it was an Indian thing. And sorry, you reminded me, actually, it's a Sri Lankan thing. And your milk is the most golden of all.
That's one way of putting it, yeah.
What is it?
Milk, well, you heat milk, you add in, I think it's a tablespoon of ginger, tablespoon of turmeric, black pepper, leave it to bubble away just for a few minutes, then let it sit for 10 minutes, and then make sure you put it through a sieve.
Now,
honey.
Oh, and then at the very end, you put some honey in to sweeten it.
Hang on a minute, he's cooking it, he doesn't know what the ingredients are. This is...
I've not been ill for a while, so it's not made in a while.
And what does it do? It cures everything, doesn't it?
Pretty much.
It made it so you could sleep.
And I've read about this on the internet, so it must be true. But there are like proper research has been done into this phenomenon.
Now, how come you believe him with his golden milk, but the other day when I suggested you have some milk, you laughed me out?
Because you just I said, I've got really bad indigestion. You went, do you want some milk? Where's that come from?
It would work, wouldn't it?
Alkaline. If you've got an acid
Exactly.
stomach, it will help to reduce it.
This is how I know,
Acid
because I
alkaline.
had terrible heartburn when I was pregnant, and of course you can't be taking loads of stuff, so I used to drink milk, and it was really helpful, so I'm right.
Lines your stomach, stops the acid.
Well,
Good.
but my indigestion was different, so it wouldn't have helped actually any of you. So
Okay, doctor.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much indeed.
So loser much.
I tell you what I've been doing this last week since I've been ill. I have been following my body's desires.
Oh my God.
No, none of that. I told you I couldn't do that. And the other day I woke up and I wanted fish. I went and ate fish. Last night we were going to go and get a sandwich, and I went, oh no, actually I want microwave curry.
Yeah.
And I had a microwave curry. I regretted it afterwards, actually. And tonight I want John's golden milk.
So, John, what are you going to do about that?
Make you some golden milk.
Beautiful. This is 0344 499 1000. There are things that we don't know, that we don't understand, that we think we know. We think we're all so clever with our science and our technology and stuff like that. But then there's ancient things. The ancient Sri Lankans know more than you do.
Fatima's not ancient. She's only about 45.
Who's Fatima? Your mate?
Yeah, Fatima's my friend who came.
But that would have been. That would have been passed down.
Oh yeah, it's from her mother.
45,
Her mother sent it. Yeah, she's about 45, I think.
Does she look younger?
Yes, she does.
Well, that milk works then.
She's stunningly beautiful as well.
That milk. You're trying to fix us up with Fatima. That's a bit.
Well, she could probably actually do with a boyfriend too. Yeah.
Well, if anyone's interested, a 45-year-old Sri Lankan woman who looks younger than that,
and is an amazing chef.
Hang on a minute.
I'd forgotten I'd been to Sri Lanka. Did I go to Sri Lanka? Yeah, I went to Sri Lanka. It's not. Have you been there?
I haven't. I'd like to go.
The food is stunning. The people are delightful. We met this lad in. We went out of the hotel complex and went for a walk and went to like a proper place. And we got talking to this lad, and he said, "Where are you going?" He said, "Well," we said, "Oh, we don't know. We thought we might go to Kandy or something." He said, "Oh, I'll tell you what. I'll get a driver and I'll take you for 2,000, whatever. I don't remember what the currency is over there." And we went with this fella.
At any point, did you think sex slave or murder?
Oh, constantly.
Yeah.
Because it's not just us.
No, that's part of Freestone. He loves it. That's fine.
He was delightful. And we went, I guess, about a year before the tsunami hit, and I hadn't really thought about this guy, and he'd given us his address, and his address was something like. The red house by the big tree. That was his address. And I was thinking, look, blimey, how am I going to find this bloke? And somehow, after the tsunami, I kind of assumed he'd died. Somehow I managed to find him, because I knew his name, and I found him, and he was working at a hotel, and he was off the island, but his family was still on there, and his whole house had been destroyed, and so we sent, I think we sent him some money to build a house, and we sent like a bundle of clothes for his little kids, and then we just kept getting pictures of his kid dressed up in Gap clothes and things like that. It was really sweet. I like Sri Lanka, so I'm gonna try some of your golden milk in a bit, John. Thank you.
No problem.
In the meantime, let's go to Jack.
Hello, Ian. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you, Jack.
Are you feeling a bit better?
I'm feeling a bit better, yes.
Okay, great. Ian, I was just calling. I've been listening for a couple of weeks, so I thought I'd give you a call.
Uh-oh.
I just wanted to let you know, I stood next to a member of Hall & Oates in a toilet cubicle.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
In a cubicle?
Well, the urinal.
Thank you.
Okay. In the cubicle's a bit weird.
That changes the story. I mean, I don't know if someone was racking up or something, but that changes the story. Okay. Which one was it? Was it Hall or Oates? I don't know which one's which.
Hall's the tall blonde guy, and Oates is the little short, curly-haired brunette. And it was Oates.
Oh, my favourite. My mum was fascinated by Oates, because she'd always say, look at him, he looks really weird. Doesn't he look weird?
Yeah.
Doesn't he look weird? Was he weird?
He was quite weird, yeah. He's weird.
Where was this, Jack?
It was at one of his gigs in Bristol.
Hang on a minute.
He was in the loos with you?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
What? When you said, I'm assuming that they've fallen on harder times then, and are not playing the Bristol Arena or something. They're playing smaller theatres.
It was just him.
Oh, that breaks my heart. Imagine the poster, Oates, off of Hall & Oates.
John Oates.
Come and get your oats.
Yeah, you could tell there are about 30 people there. This was only a few years ago. About 30 people there. And you could tell they'd come out for all the man-eaters and, dreams come true. And he was like, hey, come on, do you see a 6-foot blind guy up here with me? I won't play that. But he still turned out a couple of them.
He didn't do man-eater because the 6-foot blonde guy wasn't there.
He did man-eater at the end, but he kept us on tender hooks throughout.
He was doing solo oats. Solo oats. And how much when you had a wee next to him, did you say, Oates, what's going on, man? What's all this new stuff?
No, I was starstruck. It was before the gig, so I didn't know he was going to crank out. Yeah.
Be honest. Be honest, Jack. You had a look, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a look. Yeah.
Of course you do. Of course you do. I've had a wee next to Davy Jones.
You had a look.
Of course you have a look. I know that when I go to the toilets after my show, people are having. John's probably had a look. You had a look, John?
Oh yeah.
There we go. You said, of course. It's what we do. You would. Thank you for that, Jack. That's an absolutely brilliant, if slightly heartbreaking story.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for having me on.
Cheers, my dears. Take care. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, OK, if you've ever seen Oates solo, 0344 499 1000. I mean, that's a strange gig to go and see and Oates. If you've ever stood next to a rock star in the toilet, of course, we're always happy to take those phone calls. It's a great one. Big stars in reduced circumstances. If you've ever seen, a big band that used to be one of your favourites, sold millions of records, but you saw them playing in a room above a pub.
I can give you one, but it's not a band. It's Mickey Rooney.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mickey Rooney was in
Milton Keynes
Panto. Oh my God! Right, he was in it briefly. It was like 2 minute bursts.
It wasn't like a video, because quite often with the big old stars,
it was actual Mickey Rooney, and it felt like if you looked to the corner of the stage, you'd see a pair of hands pushing him on every time.
God.
And then he would be on for a couple of minutes, and then he'd go off again for another half hour.
Yeah,
poor lad.
Is he dead now, Mickey Rooney?
I think he is.
Didn't he, Mickey Rooney? Wasn't Mickey Rooney in a TV series where he was a genie? I'm sure I remember that as a kid. About the same time as Big John, Little John. Do you remember Big John, Little John? Big John, do you remember... I'm the only person... I don't want to do old kids' TV shows, but I'm the only person that remembers Big John, Little John, right? But what it was, Big John was this guy, and he went to Africa... He was an explorer. It's all summed up in the theme tune. And he drank this water, and the water meant that sometimes he'd turn into a little boy. So he came back home. Big John, Little John, what a way to live. And so he'd come home, and he'd be with his wife, and then at inappropriate moments...
Oh, God.
Not when they were doing it,
okay.
but if his boss came round...
For a dinner party, as they always did.
Yeah. And he'd shrink into a little boy. And
did his wife know?
Yeah. I think his wife was...
So she pretended
she
it was their
supported
son.
it. Yeah. Big John. I'm the only person that remembers that, and I think I'm the only person that remembers Mickey Rooney playing a genie in a TV programme. Let's put that to the test. Let's go to Gatford.
No.
Sorry?
I don't remember Mickey Rooney playing a genie.
You don't remember Mickey Rooney playing... Do you remember Big John, Little John?
Vaguely. Do you know what? It does sound familiar about the drinking of water and stuff.
And I remember one episode where he was trying to prove to someone that he could change, and they're going, go on there. He said, well, I've got to drink water. And he was drinking loads of water, and of course it didn't work.
No, never will.
You can't get that to work when you want it to work, guys.
Do you remember, I can't remember the name of this, again, don't want to go into the 70s, but there was a weird TV show where someone had to jump into water in order to become younger or older. So it's kind of similar. Or it was either a TV series or a film in the 70s, where if he jumped into a barrel of water, he came out as a kid.
It sounds brilliant!
Into a barrel of water, he came out as a man.
That sounds brilliant. I'd like to watch that.
Yeah, no, I wish I could remember what it was.
Okay, well, 03444991000.
I'd like to do a social experiment, if that's okay.
Oh, yeah, we love our social experiments. Yes, please.
Yeah, sure. This can only be concluded next week when you're back down in the London area.
Okay.
But I'm wondering if Kath, who this evening is 37% more Mancunian than normal, could say a phrase, and then next week we'll get her to say the phrase again, and then put them side by side for a social experiment.
That is absolutely brilliant.
Go on.
Okay, so let's go for the phrase that pays. I don't know. Hello, my name is Kath, and I come from Manchester.
All right. Hello, my name is Kath, and I come from Manchester.
Oh, I come from Manchester. You're doing it,
I'm not doing it.
Was she slightly swaying side to side as she did it? You know.
Well, it's hard to see with the anorak. Take that off and.
Outrageous.
But then we'll finish that next week when you're back down in the London area, and then we'll play them side by side.
All right, producer Gat. I like Manchester. It gets.
I'm not knocking the Manchester.
You are a little bit, mate. You're being a bit rude. You're dissing some of. We've got a big fan base up here. We've sold 52 tickets.
52 fans. Well, maybe half of that and girlfriends.
And a lot of those people aren't actually able to come now. They've said on
yeah,
Twitter.
I know that on Twitter earlier.
So very, very popular in Manchester. And
none of my family come in, which is disappointing.
Well,
or a mercy.
Well. You don't know what I've
got
planned.
You haven't.
He hasn't.
What family you got up there, Kath?
Basically, all of them.
All the ex-husbands. Gatford, I'm gonna wave my hand and you've gone. You've been cut off. Hey, I like that. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
03444991000. No, we'll do him after the news. One hit of Paul in Stoke Poges.
He'd have changed his mind by then. We can talk about something else.
Okay, so here's what we've got so far. If you've ever seen Oates, if you've ever seen a double act but only one member of the double act, black rock stars and rock groups, please.
Celebrity wangers.
Well, you're so tabloid.
Well,
so tabloid.
We've not got much time. I've got to cut to the chase.
If big stars in reduced circumstances. Maybe you saw, maybe you saw the Dooleys in a room above a pub. Huge act in the 70s. Not such a big draw now. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Yesterday was kinda like the 4th of July. The way your face lit up the entire sky. Had to look away because it hurt my eyes. The way you hit me was a big surprise. Yesterday I really didn't know what to say. I wasn't making any sense, but I felt okay. Ask you if it was my birthday. This kind of thing don't happen every day. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. I didn't think an angel would get in my way. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. I didn't think an angel would get in my way. Yesterday I felt just like a child, a little curious, a little wild. Live in the moment and you'll never go out of style. You know it's really been a while. Hey, 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 hey. I didn't think an angel would get in my way. Let me tell you, yeah. Excuse me, won't you step aside? I don't got a room for you in my life. I don't got the patience to love again. I don't got the guts to keep you as a friend. Be an angel to fly away. I hope you reach some heavenly place. If you come back when you're older, bring me some raindrops from the Today I feel like I'm doing time. I didn't think it would be such a shameful crime. It's been a while since I let you go. Time don't let regrets go. Hey, 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 hey. I didn't think an angel would get in my way. No, no, no. Hey, 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 hey. I didn't think an angel would get in my way. Hey. So I gotta welcome angels, welcome angels, welcome angels, welcome angels, welcome
So here's the thing. I love this bit. I love it when she talks at the end. Here's the thing. When we go to New York, June the 12th to June the 16th, hopefully we're going to meet up with Imani Coppola, who is just one of my... I genuinely think she's a genius. I think she's the most beautiful woman on earth, one of the most talented singers, songwriters. She's a brilliant art painter as well. And I'm absolutely terrified of her, Catherine.
So you should be.
I am terrified. She's got an art show on at the moment. I messaged her yesterday. I said, are you going to be having anything on when we're there? And she said, for the 5th time, when are you coming? She's very flaky.
Well.
She's very flaky. Well, do you remember when we were booked to do an interview with her and we phoned her up?
Which time?
Yeah, we phoned her up and she went, yeah, we're doing an interview with you now. Can we do it next week? I'm not... She'd forgotten.
Yeah. And then when we phoned her the week after, She asked us to phone her in an hour.
I love her so much. Honestly, I think she's so good. So good. Hopefully we're going to meet her. Hopefully we're going to meet John Ronson. Hopefully we're going to meet Steve Guttenberg, Richard Bacon,
Maeve from Maeve
Higgins.
America.
Till next week, we'll go through all the podcasts that you, dear listener, should be listening to as your homework, because there's quite a few that we're going to be interviewing, people who do podcasts. I'm going to be appearing on one, which is I'm thrilled when you see the kind of people they've had on.
And we're both going to be on WFMU, right?
Oh yeah, we're going to do a live show. We're going to be guests on WFMU, which we're probably going to simulcast with Talk Radio, which will be interesting, to say the least. And Cosmo Kramer, who Kramer is based on from Seinfeld. He's another flaky gentleman, but hopefully we're going to go and meet him.
The most artistic people do tend to be harder to pin down, don't they?
Yeah. Well, Cosmo, you've not really seen Frasier, have you?
A little.
Seinfeld, sorry.
A little, but not a lot.
Are you Seinfeld fans at all?
Yeah.
You know Kramer, the character Kramer. We're going to meet the guy that's based on.
He's the tall guy with the shirts, right?
Yeah. It's crazy. And I've been on a tour. This guy
he does the tours around.
Does the tour, and I went on a tour years ago. He's exactly the same as Kramer. He's nuts. He's away with the fairies, and is wonderful because of it. So hopefully we're going to go and meet him. It's dawned on me we've only got 2 definite locations to do the radio show from, so I need to work on that next week. We'll find 3 more.
What was this thing you sprung on me the other day about going salsa dancing?
Oh yeah, we're going to go salsa dancing on the Wednesday night. We've been invited to like a dance club class type thing by a young lady whose name escapes me. I think it's Julia, who's been very, very helpful in terms of helping us find people. She says, you can always come to my salsa class on Wednesday. I went, yeah. She goes, oh, you really? Yeah, no, sounds brilliant.
Hilarious.
Yeah, brilliant. We'll go along and we'll record that, and we'll go and talk to the people there. It'll be fantastic.
You much of a mover?
Oh, look at me, Catherine. You know
Born
me.
to dance.
Oh God, yes. This is my true calling. Speaking of born movers, it's Jerry.
Ted Danson.
Did you say dancing or Ted Danson?
Ted Danson.
Ted Danson, what about him?
He's very excited in a Beastie Boys video. He owns a restaurant.
Where does he own a restaurant? In New York?
In New York for the Beastie Boys. He owns a restaurant with Beastie Boys.
Now, hang on a minute, because I'm going to be honest, Jerry. The line that we've got to the studio is a little bit faint, so I'm struggling to hear you more than normal. But are you saying that Ted Danson has got a restaurant in New York, and that he works in it every day? You're thinking of Cheers.
That's in Boston.
Yeah.
I think so. Little one. Just tell you what, can you ring back on the landline? Because much better. This one's crap.
All right, Ed, call him back on his landline. Jerry's. For those who don't know, Jerry's got Parkinson's, and so sometimes he's a little bit better to hear. Ed will sort that out. Ed, do some work, you lazy git. Pablo.
Hip, hip, hip.
Now, where are you? In some sort of cathedral or a toilet?
I've just walked up some stairs.
Take us off speakerphone.
No, I'm just in an echoey place. I'm in an open area now.
Okay, now, Pablo, last time you called us, you were steaming drunk, and you were going to propose to your wife.
Or not.
Yeah,
and then you started tweeting pictures of the ring before she'd seen it, you idiot.
Exactly, yeah, I deleted all that. I just wanted to apologise initially for my drunken behaviour.
Yes.
And then follow that up with, she said yes.
Yay!
Pablo's getting married, come on you Spurs, come on you Spurs.
So, come on, blow by blow, how did it happen?
Steady on, Catherine.
Yeah.
Well, easy, Tiger. It probably wasn't that. I'd overthought it to the point of ridiculousness, so I just...
You're telling us.
Well, exactly. So I just used a quiet moment when we're all together as a family I did a forward roll and then presented the ring.
Sorry, hang on, one more.
Whoa, we didn't realise there was going to be a gymnastic element.
You're doing physical stunts as part of your proposal. You're like a la Willy Wonka. What the hell?
Are you thinking distraction?
Well, I got the daughter involved. I said, Daddy's got an important question, which she said, and then the forward roll happened. I presented the ring, and yeah, it worked out all well. I probably could have done it better, But yeah, all good.
So, was it? Will you marry me down on one knee with pulling out the ring and opening the box manoeuvre? Classic.
Or standard gymnastic dismount.
I did that all within the role, so ultimately it was quite, spectacular.
And an instant yes.
It was an instant yes. Admittedly, we've been together 10 years. We have 2 children and own a house together. So
didn't ask for your life story. And were the kids excited?
Well, too little to understand, but they'll once it gets closer,
they'll come to resent you.
Well, that's already happened.
Oh, Pablo, that's brilliant news, mate. I'm really chuffed for you. Well done.
Well, it's a pleasure. I'm going to try and seal the deal as I'm away on a family holiday at the minute. I'm going to get up on stage tomorrow night and sing I Started the Joke, the Fake No More version, as part of
it's not too late for her to bail.
Why would you do that?
Well, because it's more of a comment on my character than the situation, because I am a bit of a clown's pocket of a person.
A clown's what?
Pocket? I don't want to know.
I don't want to know. Well, Pablo... Yeah, okay, yes, that is correct. Pablo, congratulations.
Mrs. Pablo, never mind.
Hey, come on now. That's a cheap shot. That's a cheap shot.
Someone wrote that in my wedding card once.
Did they?
Mm-hmm. The other way around, though.
Thanks, Pablo. Jerry, you back?
No.
No, okay.
So who's left.
Well, oh, God. John, you talk to him. It's Paul and stuff.
Hi, Paul.
John, I haven't heard from you before. No, okay, Ian's given up on me, right? You talked briefly earlier about famous people you might have bumped into in a public toilet.
Rhetorical.
Yep.
I once used a male toilet, a public toilet at Heathrow Airport before I caught my flight, and I was using the urinal, and a very famous person came up and used the urinal right next to me, and the very famous person's name was Dame Edna Everidge.
Big question. Did she have a look at yours?
It's a load of gladiola, isn't it? Thank you. Can I finish by saying the song I was on about earlier by the band? Yes, I did Google it. It was Charles and Eddie. Would I lie to you?
That's not rock.
That's not rock. That's soul.
No,
you laughed at
rock.
Roachford. How dare you?
That's not rock.
It's just like Roachford. You were on about, Catherine. It was total. It's not rock, is it? But you hear it in Asda when you're doing your food shopping or standing in a lift.
Right. The question wasn't which black singers have you heard when you're in
Asda or in a lift.
The question was, can we name any black rock bands or any black rock stars? And there are literally a handful.
It's the sound of a beaten man.
Other than that, I met in a public toilet once, standing here right next to me, Mrs. Brown.
Thanks very much for calling, Paul. 0344.
Is it only men dressed as women?
499.
What clubs is he in when he meets them?
It's the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Uncut after-hours conversation for the up-all-night generation. Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Here we go, Mike's alive. Computer Geek Out with John. We've been joking about Linux, which is... I've got a friend. I was just saying to Sarah, I was best man at my friend's wedding, and I did a very wonderful, moving speech, and I got up and I said... John, we're all here because of the L word, Linux. And everyone, because he's constantly going around saying, do you want me to install Linux and partition your hard drives? No, because every time you've done it, Con, you've knackered my computer up, so no.
You've got to be very careful.
Exactly, you see, exactly. Now, when I say you're a geek, I'm saying that as a geek myself, but you would identify yourself as...
Definitely
as kind of a geek?
Yes, definitely.
And so you can do all things with computers?
Yep, you name it. Probably or done it at some stage.
Can you hack? How do you hack these days? Because when I was a kid, hacking...
Never admit to it.
No, the hacking was...
It was always straight to the Pentagon.
Well, it was. You get your phone and you put it in your acoustic coupler, and you dial up, you do...
Weird Science!
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Weird Science.
That was such a great movie.
That was great. But wrong on so many levels when you watch it as a grown-up, right?
Those boys were 15, weren't they? But
you don't think that at the time. You just think, wow, so cool.
Oh, was it Kelly Brock?
Kelly LeBrock.
Kelly LeBrock, wow.
You little weirdos want to
Drop and give me 20.
Yo.
Chips, dips, chains, whips, no candle wax on the nipples.
Your favourite line.
I mean, that was... You don't get kids' movies that are inappropriate for kids anymore,
No.
do you?
They couldn't make Big again.
Oh, we were talking about Big today and the alternate ending.
Oh.
You know, the extra ending where she shows up in the classroom at the very end.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What, adopts him?
No. She's gone to the machine
and
wish she was young. And she shows up in... Yeah.
Because she's basically having sex with a 13-year-old boy, is that right?
It's a bit...
Well,
when you look at
mentally,
it back
he's
now.
13. It's not really her fault.
And she
just
doesn't
thinks he's
know.
Innocent. Yeah.
Well, listen, I don't
She thought he was older.
He looks ridiculously older. Let's face it.
I
He's
don't want to
older
get
than 13.
controversial, but that argument doesn't stand up in the court of law. She looked older than 13, Your Honour. She looked older. Oh, what, like the film Big? Oh, in that case, I let you off, Mr. Hall. No, it doesn't work like that, I'm
No.
afraid. It doesn't.
He had a kick-ass apartment, though.
Oh, the best.
That was just awesome.
The Great Lost, because we're old enough to remember when Tom Hanks was a dumb actor before he became
Splash.
Tom Hanks. Yeah.
You don't know she's a mermaid, seriously.
Splash and was it Bachelor Party?
Bachelor Party.
That's a movie.
Yeah,
I
that was
bought
one of his
Splash because my daughters are big into mermaids, and I thought I'll just have a quick watch of it before I... You can't show that to kids.
No.
You can't show that to kids.
Well, you can't.
Or Goonies. There's a bit of swearing in
Goonies
that.
is
I
really
love
sweary.
The truffle shuffle's awesome.
I was gonna look who's talking too popped up on Netflix, full of swear words. There's five, at least 5 S-bombs. Now, if there's one S-bomb in a film,
you can cough over that.
I will let one S-bomb go by. But this is loads of S-bombs. So no, not having that. Is that your phone ringing?
Nope, that's Golden Milk. It's ready.
Your Golden Milk is ready.
Let's speak to Jerry. Jerry, you back?
Hello.
Hello, Jerry. I'm about to have some golden milk, sir.
I'm going to say golden crumbs, catching it like biggest nasty man ever. Say on 70 years, chubby spooked, disgusting, chubby resting.
Say that again, Jerry, because you're getting a bit excited. So just take a deep breath and say it again.
He ain't coming ashore, he ain't spooked. Captain Beardside, what's it? Should be arrested, dirty man. Since that's the water. Captain Beardside.
I am sorry to say I'm struggling to understand you. Try it again, buddy. And I tell you why, it's partly because you're a bit excited, but it's also because of the way we're broadcasting this little box of tricks, it means that what we're hearing is actually a lot quieter than it would be normally. So just try it again.
I'll try to speak. I put his name, he's
And also your phone line's crap as well, that's not helping.
I'm blessed. Hello.
Hello.
Is that better?
That is better.
So I mean, tomorrow.
Go.
You gone?
No, I'm listening, go.
Hey, Manchester, tomorrow. Hello. Thank you. I'm real bad.
Oh, Jerry, now your phone's cutting in and out, mate. What the hell is going on? The man doesn't want you to talk to us tonight. The suits are against us.
Can you hear me now? I'm going to get out of the window. Hello.
Well, that's better, but careful.
Is he leaning out of the window?
Yeah.
Don't fall out the window, Jerry. He's gone.
Jerry?
Flipping heck!
Bye, Bobbins.
Right, hang on a second. Ed, you may be able to hear a little bit better. Turn your microphone on for a second, Ed.
Hi.
Because the way we're using this, we're doing this from John and Sarah's house. So we're using this box of tricks.
Hello.
Which is wonderful and magical, but it does mean that we're quite quiet on the calls.
Mm-hmm.
Are you hearing Jerry any better than we are?
No, it is breaking up quite a bit.
Okay. Jerry, give it one more. Jerry, just give it one more go. Go on.
Hang on. Give it a bang.
Give it a bang. There we go. Okay. Hello? No.
Oh, Jerry.
Knocked the batteries out, giving it a bang.
Yeah, I think he has. Jerry's one of our regulars, and Jerry's got Parkinson's, and some nights it's worse than others, and some nights we struggle, and some nights we get it straight away. I just think, and I feel bad saying this, but it's just because he sounds like he's not particularly well tonight. B, his phone's rubbish. B, we're using this equipment that means we're kind of not hearing everything as clear as we would do normally. Jerry, maybe, I hate saying this because everyone is welcome and is invited. Try again. If it doesn't work tonight, maybe we should speak on Monday when we're back in the studio and it'll be a little bit clearer for us. And I'm really sorry. But just to say, because we still get people emailing saying, I want to call in, but I've got a stammer or I've got MS or whatever. Everybody is welcome to call in. It's a little bit trickier tonight because of this, because we're not in the studio. But everyone is welcome to call in, whatever your troubles with speech. Generally we'll get there. So I know lots of people, because my mum's speech is terrible because of her MS, and it breaks my heart to think that people like Jerry and my mum wouldn't get on a phone-in radio show. And I know that Jerry's turned away from other radio stations and turned away from other shows. And there's no reason for that. We got all the time in the world generally. It's just proven a little bit harder tonight, Jerry, than usual. So maybe we'll have a chat on Monday when we're back in the studio. In the meantime, it's Martin.
Hello, Ian. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hello,
it's Martin.
How's my phone? Is my phone working all right?
Your phone's working perfectly.
Ah, brilliant. It's the good phone signal in Luton. That's what it is.
The Luton phone signal, of course, famous.
Big up,
famous phone signal.
Yes,
absolutely. How's Manchester?
It's good. I like Manchester.
Bit dark.
It's dark. It took us blooming ages to get here because all the motorways. 50 miles an hour, average speed, 50 miles, all the motorways.
Yeah, for years. It's been going on for years.
Isn't it? It's just everywhere.
And it doesn't look like there's an awful lot going on either.
But there's big signs that say, my daddy works it. Really, mate? I'm sorry, but I don't think that's happening.
I think your mummy and daddy need to have a chat, because I think he's off seeing some woman somewhere. He's not working here. There's nothing going on. Here comes some golden milk. Golden milk.
You need some golden nuggets with that.
Hey.
It is a little hot. That is a straw, but it gets really hot if you start.
Okay, I'm going to put it on. I'm going to put it on here. We'll have to let this cool down. We'll let it cool down. Martin, what have you got for us, Martin?
Well, I haven't called you since that tragic night when Bobby Giuseppe fell off stage for Primal Scream. Do you remember that?
Oh, I do. I do remember Bobby Giuseppe. Yes.
What happened to him? Is he okay?
I vaguely. This is ringing a very distant bell. Listen, I don't know what I did 2 weeks ago, let alone what I did. Yes, I believe Bobby Giuseppe of Primal Scream. I believe he was so high that he was absolutely fine.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, I've got 9 topics here for you, Ian, because it's such a long time ago, and I listened to the podcast. Yes. But I cut it down to 5.
Okay.
And then I thought, well, 5, you're never going to give me 5, so I'll read out the topics and you can pick one. I think that's the fair way.
All right, very sounds good. Yeah, I like that. Go on.
Right, the topics are radio, that's number 1. Yeah. Number 2, contract. Number 3, Jeremy Beadle.
Can I just stop you for a second? Because I sent an email to a comedian, right? It's a guy that I kind of really like, and saying that I've completely forgotten his name. Oh, what's the comedian's name, John? I'm thinking of. I like him.
Welcome to my world, John.
No, come on. He's what's his name?
Limmy.
No.
I like Russell Howard.
No. Kevin
Bishop.
No. Is it
Keegan?
The Scottish guy?
No. The fellow, he's got, what's his name? Oh, come on, guys. He's a comedian.
He may be called Kevin.
He's slightly obscure. He, what, hang on a minute. Hang on, I'll find it. Hang on a minute.
You can get slightly obscure, maybe called Kevin, and get a name from Google.
Oh, no, this is like having a conversation with my mother. So she mimes.
All right, hang on a minute. I'll find you. Carry on with your topics.
Okay.
Catherine's paying attention now.
So it's radio. Right. Start again.
Yeah, radio. Contracts. Jeremy Beadle, callers, and New York. That's the 5 topics.
Oh, excellent topics.
Yeah. Well, you say that.
I'll let Sarah decide.
I have a weird thing about Jeremy Beadle.
Don't we all?
Yeah, I don't know quite what it is about that man. He has a huge library, you know.
Hit us with Jeremy Beadle.
Jeremy Beadle, right. When I'm quite old, really, and when I first started listening to talk radio, well, not talk radio as in your station, but radio where they talk, I used to listen to Jeremy Beadle on LBC on Sunday nights, and he used to do 10 till 1, funny enough, as well. And he was really, really good. And I have said before that when I first started hearing Iain on Free Counties Radio, he used to remind me of Jeremy Beadle for some reason. And I know you, Catherine, has worked with both of them, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I once asked you this, I think it was on Twitter or something, and you said you couldn't really see the resemblance in the way they are on the radio. And I don't think Ian's ever heard Jeremy Beadle on the radio.
I never heard Jeremy in his prime. He worked one shift, I think, or maybe two. I think he did afternoons a couple of times at BBC Three Counties Radio. And all I remember of him, and also Tommy Boyd, and I didn't appreciate the fact that he was there at the time either. That was a missed opportunity.
Tommy Boyd took over from Jeremy Beadle. When Jeremy Beadle moved into television, Tommy Boyd took his slot on LBC.
Yeah, and they both did a couple of cover shifts at Three Counties, and I produced them. I didn't realise what I had, do you know what I mean? Until afterwards. But Jeremy Beadle came on, and at that time, he was... part of his business, I'm sure, was in quizzes.
Right.
And he spent 3 hours doing a quiz.
Wow.
At Three Counties. If someone could dig that out, that's probably worth having a listen to.
The next bank holiday, we're going to do a quiz.
All right.
There we go.
We're doing the Jeremy Beadle tribute.
Yeah. Try and find this committee. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you, sorry, in your house. Breathe, get the dog to climb on you.
Get the dog, calm it down.
Daniel Kitson. So, Daniel Kitson, right, I like, right. So, I sent to Daniel Kitson, ask if you want to come on the show. Don't know if you're aware of him, he's brilliant, right. But he doesn't really do interviews. So I've said, Daniel Kitson, I suspect the answer is no, but I shall ask. Do you fancy coming on my late night show on Talk Radio? Here are the options. 1, you come in one night. 2, we talk on the phone one night. 3, I come to you one day. 4, you ignore this email. 5, you politely decline. 6, you rudely decline. Just reply with the number of your choice and I shall see how that makes me feel. 10 minutes later I got an email saying 4. Number 4 was, you ignore this email.
Oh.
And that was as far as we went. And that was as far as the conversation went. But that was a delightful exchange.
Yeah.
That was a delightful exchange.
It might have been an ironic 4.
No, because I then replied, well, that made me feel invigorated, and then he never replied again, so...
The golden rule of polls is don't put an answer you don't...
Yeah, exactly. That was my problem. Well,
yeah,
Martin.
Jeremy Beadle, his name's come up a few times in the last week.
Yeah,
or so,
but he was good. He was good, apparently. I never heard him, but he was good. No. Well, I hope that clears things up, Martin.
Yeah, now, what part of Manchester are you in?
That is classified
are we allowed
information.
to say?
That is classified...
Well, you...
What? Why?
Well, because I know my Manchester geography from Smith's songs, and I just wondered if it was ever mentioned in a Smith's song.
No. Maybe Happy Mondays, nearly.
Oh.
It's near Little Hulton.
That's given me a clue.
By the way, if any of our listeners do, from the clues we give out this evening, work out exactly where we are and knock on the door.
They win the house, right?
They win the house. They will win the house.
And a great big mortgage that goes with it.
Thank you, Martin. 03444991000. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Zara's off to bed.
The dog?
There we go. Does the dog come with you, or does the dog... No, the dog doesn't like it's moving for all night.
The dog has his own bed in the kitchen.
The dog is settled. Sarah, thank you very much. You've been a delightful host.
Thank you,
It's
Sarah.
been wonderful to have you. Thank you very much for coming.
If we make too much noise, then you can beat John up in the morning. There we go. Oh, look at that. Proper affection.
I know.
Proper affection. Oh, that's nice.
They've only been married 5 years.
Now listen, I'm going to try some of this this golden milk that everyone has. So what's in this?
Spitting it on my carpet.
No. Oh God. So what's in this, John?
Ginger, turmeric, black pepper. It's very honey.
For the night has 1,000 eyes. Wowzers, that's it's like liquid curry.
Kind of. Yeah.
Can I have a sniff?
Oi, hey! Have a little sip.
You might give me the lurgy.
No, just drink it from the bottle, the glass.
Yowza!
Wow!
It stays around for a while.
Hey, doesn't it, eh?
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh,
Hey. All the people, so many people.
Explain the sensation.
It's, I'm floating through space and time. Well, I have a hot tongue.
Back of my throat is tingling somewhat. I expect you get used to it.
I don't drink it often.
Oh.
Flipping heck. He says that now he's giving me a pint of it. John, thank you, sir. You're very kind. Jerry, you back?
I'm back.
There we go.
Oh,
we can
that's
hear you.
better.
We can hear you. Jerry, go. Speak now.
Bill Kitson starred in Phoenix Nights.
Yes?
He was in Phoenix Nights, just saying. And Manchester, home of Joy Division, New Order, Factory Records, good place. Lost the keys in Strangeways once.
You went to Strangeways?
Yeah.
What,
lost the
prison?
keys in there, tea with the governor. Lost the keys in there.
What were you in for?
I was in for a day, interviewing the governor.
I would like to go
as part of my degree
to a proper prison for 3 nights. A proper prison for 3... I know I'm a very pretty young man.
You'd never survive.
Oh, I do love it.
What was that crappy programme Craig Charles did? Prison Breakout or something?
Craig Charles did a programme called Prison Breakout?
Yeah, something. Not real prison.
I've just had a thought that could be genius.
Yeah, go on.
Could be the last show we ever do.
We put Jerry in prison?
No, we do like a full
Already
prison.
in
We
one.
go and do a show from a prison.
Yeah, fine, all right. Yeah, let's do that. That'll win us an award.
All right. I'll write some emails on Monday.
I would, no, I'd like to go to prison. I'd like to go to prison for a crime I didn't commit.
I can arrange that.
But then 3 days later they go, oh no, we realise it wasn't you, you're out.
Okay.
That's what I'd like. God, that golden milk is,
Golden milk?
God, I'm drinking, steady. I'm drinking golden milk, and I'll be honest, it's, I'm starting to trip my nuts.
So it's got, what's it got in it? It's got ginger, turmeric.
Turmeric's the
honey.
Honey, black pepper.
Sound like a steel band.
It does sound like a steel band.
Steel band, I'm quite turned on by that.
This might cure your Parkinson's, Jerry.
Yeah, I'm going to can you save me some?
I'll send you some golden milk in a jiffy.
I'm going to try and make it tomorrow.
Are you going to come? How are you going to do it? Are you
I don't know. I've got no way of getting there, and I'm going. I don't know.
All right, well.
I'll try.
Be nice to see you.
I can very often speak on the phone.
Yeah.
Like on This Is Your Life.
Yeah, we're going to stream it. We'll stream it on Periscope tomorrow. I meant to say this to everyone. So we're tomorrow night from about 7:30 till about 10:30. We're going to be doing the rabbit hole. And so follow me on Periscope and on Twitter. You need to phone in. It's a phone-in show. And when add Hey Rabbit Hole Show on Skype. And when you see we are online, you can call. You need to do that, please.
If anyone wants to pick me up, they can do. I'll wear a pad so I don't wet on the car seat.
Well, if anyone wants to pick Jerry up, bearing in mind he's a pain in the arse.
Wheelchair has to go in the back somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's. I thought you'd sorted all this out, you pudding.
No, I can't.
Can't you, isn't there? Have you got a local cab firm that does wheelchairs?
No, it costs a fortune.
Yeah, they are pricey. 'Cause my mum uses them sometimes. They are pricey.
Anything with a wheelchair disabled, they just stick an extra 2 zeros on the end of it.
Well, I don't know if they go that far, do they?
007.
Well, oh mate, you are a pudding. I thought I assumed you'd sorted it all out.
No,
Well, listen, we're going to be on Periscope. So you can watch us. You can watch our beautiful faces.
Watch every night, anyway.
Say it again?
You watch it every night.
You come in and visit me on the way back. Say hello.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to say yes and then not. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Because I'm still not feeling great, Jerry, and I'm getting worn out just getting up out of bed at the moment.
Also, you don't want it.
No. Well, he'd only get it if we French kissed.
Well, like last time.
I want some of this on the interim acting.
Jerry, listen, I don't want to promise we're going to come and see you this time because there's a strong chance we won't, just because I'm feeling a bit ropey. But we'll do our best, and if we can't do it this time, we'll try and do it next time.
You look after yourself first. That's the main thing. Get yourself
all right, mate. Take care, Jerry. See you later.
See you,
Ta-ta.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We'll try and pop along, but I'm still feeling... you saw me today. I'm wiped out. I've done nothing.
Been very quiet in the car.
Very quiet. There's been no banter. It's been a very sad day.
For you.
0344 499 1000. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late Night Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000. The show is coming this evening from Greater Manchester, live in John and Sarah's house. Sarah's gone to bed. She wasn't a fan of the show anyway, and that's absolutely fine. More people dislike me than like me, Catherine.
That's an achievement.
Well, there you go. John is still here. John?
Hello.
Has it been everything you hoped it would be and more?
Yes, it's nice to see it from the other side.
Okay, and what another side it is, isn't it? The glamour of us sat on your floor.
While the dog sleeps.
Like students. I think I'm going to do a really big burp or fart after that golden milk.
Oh,
something's stirring.
Dislodged.
Something is stirring. Speaking of stirring, it's Keith. Good evening, Keith.
Bonsoir, hip hip hip.
Hip hip hip. Bonsoir, mademoiselle.
So, I've got a bone to pick with you, actually.
Oh, he wants to pick my bone.
Oh, not again.
What are you doing accepting food off listeners? It's you know there's only one person you're allowed to accept food off, and that's me.
Mate, listen.
And you're...
Where's your meat? You haven't sent us any meat.
We've said we're in Manchester. Where is the meat?
Do you know what courier charges are like at this time of night?
Mate.
Have you thought what Deliveroo would be?
Your meat.
I'm listening, and all I'm hearing is excuses.
Well, listen, I'm not the one that's drinking flipping golden milk.
Golden milk. Bop, bop, bop.
You know that burning sensation you're feeling at the moment?
Yeah.
That is going to last throughout the night. I think you're in real danger there, man.
The thing is, I've researched the golden milk. And there seems to be, quite a little bit of evidence that backs it up.
Was it fresh turmeric?
Sorry, are we disturbing you, Keith?
Keith?
Was it fresh turmeric?
Are we disturbing you? What are you doing whilst talking to us?
Oh, sorry, I was screwing.
Oh no, again.
Sorry. Stop screwing. Was it fresh turmeric?
No.
Turmeric paste?
It was turmeric powder.
Powder.
Turmeric.
Oh no. Was it freshly ground black pepper?
Yes.
Good.
Was it fresh milk?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you dissing John's milk?
Was it Manuka honey?
I'm just concerned.
Manuka honey. You know, most of the Manuka honey is just honey, and they've just put an extra 15 quid on the jar.
15? Try 30.
Well,
I mean, I think if it was a straight golden milk, I think your man there has missed a golden opportunity.
What, to spike me with seeds? Is that what you're saying, Keith?
Yeah,
oh my God!
Exactly.
He might well have done it. Do you know what? He's a nice fella. I would take one for the team.
And do you know what? If it makes him feel better,
yeah, he's
who's the fool?
He's invited us to his home. Yes, of course. We have to pay a little bit.
Which is only right, and you could have at least hocked a decent-sized loogie into it.
Man alive, we accept food from you.
Cut him off, Ed. I don't want to talk to this man. I don't want to talk to this guy anymore.
I'm not eating his ribs again.
No. Hey, in 15 minutes, Shel Talmy, the producer of My Generation.
I know.
And all of the Kinks hits.
I know, because I booked him.
Although, of course, on Twitter, you've got to be careful when you mention the Kinks, because Dave Davis, the guitarist from the Kinks, who follows me, is going to come on the show soon. He does sometimes get a little bit upset. When Ray Davis, his brother, got knighted, I think he got knighted, didn't he? And a lot of articles said Ray Davis, the founding member of the group The Kinks. And Dave was doing lots of retweets saying, actually, me and my brother founded the group together. Me and my brother, and he was described as an ex-member of the Kinks. He went, actually, me and my brother were working on songs for the Kinks last year. So he gets that, but bless
I can
him.
understand why.
Bless him. I mean, there is that rivalry between the brothers, but just then your brother gets knighted.
But they were like the Gallaghers, but real, weren't they?
Oh, they were proper. I mean, proper punch-ups on stage and everything. And the thing is, I love Dave Davis. I prefer him over Ray. I think some of his songs are so wonderful. His voice as a younger man was just it was so tortured. It was brilliant, and. He invented that sound. Yeah, he created that sound.
He slashed the speaker up.
He slashed the speaker up with a razor blade, and he got that distorted noise, and he invented that. And I have got all the time in the world for Dave Davis. Hopefully, coming on the show soon.
Saying that, we've got Ray up next. Hope it's not Ray Davis.
Oh God,
it's wonderful Ray Davis.
Is it Ray Davis?
No, it's not Ray Davis. No.
Okay, but that's a relief.
Couple of things.
Yes, Raymond.
Black band. I think they're rock. I would call them rock. The Bus Boys.
Who?
The Bus Boys.
The Bus Boys.
Remember the song. Yeah, you must remember "Boys Are Back in Town."
Yeah, that was Thin Lizzy.
Yeah, but the Bus Boys covered it. They covered it in a film called 48 Hours.
The Bus Boys.
Is that the prequel to another 48 Hours?
Yes, it is. Yeah. They were black. They were black rock band.
No, not having it. Never heard of them. I meant black rock bands that we'd heard of. Someone who did a cover of "Boys Are Back in Town" for the 48 Hours soundtrack. Flipping heck. No. Strike one.
You can't allow that and not allow Roachford.
You can't strike one. I got a strike the last time I was on because you said that Mission Impossible 2 was a good film.
It's a great film.
It's a you haven't even seen it.
It don't matter. I know it's quality.
Well, Craig said it was quality.
Quality,
you know what Craig's like.
Yeah, quality cast. That film.
Awful.
No.
Right, you've got a mind full of a little bit like myself, full of useless trivia.
Unfortunately,
that's a kind way of putting it.
Well, it's one me mastermind.
So I was just online a couple of weeks ago, and saw one of my favourite films from the 80s called Stir Crazy.
Oh yeah, does that stand the test of time?
I think it does, yeah. But do you know who directed it?
I do. Hang on, let me think.
I couldn't believe it.
It's not Sam Peckinpah, is it?
No.
I do know who directed it. I do know who directed it. Hang on a second. I do know because I've just read Gene Wilder's autobiography and he talks about it a lot in there.
Oh God! Oh right, okay, yes.
I can't think. Go on.
Sidney Poitier.
Sidney Poitier, yes, Sidney Poitier, and Sidney Poitier directed it, and Richard Pryor was on the turn. The arrogance of being a big star was just starting to kick in, as was the drugs, and there's a lot of him not turning up on set and causing ill will. But still one of the funniest scenes in cinema history when they walk into the prison for the first time. And Sidney Poitier said to both of them, just do what you want. And it is the funniest scene where they're walking in and they're surrounded by all the prisoners. It's hilarious.
It is, but like, the prisons aren't like that over here. I don't think you'd last 3 days.
No. It's.
I've been in a few, and they're not nice.
What have you been in prison for, Ray?
And why didn't you learn the first time?
Murder.
No, I've been. It was in my future, my past career. I had to go to prison to interview prisoners for crimes they'd committed.
Oh, what were you? Were you a cracker?
I was a copper, yeah. So, so I had to sort of go and either get prisoners out to interview them for crimes they'd already committed, but we hadn't yet caught them for. And in the meantime, they'd been caught for other stuff. But they're not nice places. Not nice.
Were you allowed to make deals? Say, look, if you tell us about these,
you cough this.
Yeah, then we can probably shave a couple of years off, mate.
Yeah, I mean, it did happen. It's probably not like the TVs, but I remember once we arrested someone for one offence, but at the time I was in a burglary squad, so we said, look, and we knew we'd done the burglary, we said, if you cop to the burglary, we'll forget all the other stuff you've done. And he did. And the weird thing, he didn't realise, he wasn't the sharpest of guys, all the other stuff, if he'd have copped to the other sort of 6 or 7 crimes, he would have got probably a couple of months in prison, but copping to the residential burglary, he got 3 years. So So it sort of
You
got
did
the
him
result in the
over.
end, well, we didn't really, because we knew he'd done the burglary, and obviously, if he says, "Yeah, I did it," you've got to ask questions. He's got to tell you how he did it. We wouldn't just tick it off, and go, "Yeah, thanks." You've got to actually say how he got in and what he
I miss
stole.
the days. So, were you watching Stir Crazy to try and remember what it was like working in prisons?
No, I didn't watch it. I was just online and looking at some films, and then just saw that next to where it said Stir Crazy, director Sidney Poitier.
I miss the days when the only thing being smuggled into prison was a file inside a birthday cake. now it's spice, it's mobile phones
Tiny ones up your bum, yeah.
It's drones, it's heroin.
Yeah.
Just get a file in a cake so they can saw through the bars in the window.
They put drugs in oranges, don't they, and lure them over the wall?
Yeah, I think that's outrageous. That has got
It's
to
outrageous. Well, they're having drones delivering drugs recently.
If
over
I was
the
in
wall.
prison, though, I'd start taking drugs again. Because it'd be so boring in there.
Well, they spend too much time in their cells.
They've only got PlayStation 2s. It's not like they've always got PlayStations.
Oh,
Yeah, they're PlayStation 2s.
Oh, the humanity.
They're rubbish. Once you've seen a PlayStation 4, you can't play PlayStation 2.
They shouldn't have them. They should have Wii's.
They shouldn't have PlayStations or anything.
No, they should have Ataris. The old Ataris, because people think they're fun, but actually after 5 minutes you go, yeah, this is a bit boring. If that's all you've got and you're playing Missile Command on an Atari, that'll learn you. That'll serve you right for stoving in an old woman's head, wouldn't it?
Unbelievable.
Outrageous. Ray, nice to talk to you, mate.
That's it. Good.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Rob, good evening, Rob.
Good evening, Ian. Good evening, Kath.
Hello, Rob.
Hello, Rob. And say hello to our host, John, please.
Hello, John. Hi, John.
Hello,
Rob.
Say hello to the dog as well.
I don't know the dog's name. What's the dog's name?
Cindy. Indy.
Cindy.
Wakey, wakey. There we go.
He says hi.
Listen, celebrity wangers. Yeah.
Told you.
Yes, Rob.
I was in the toilet in John Lewis before in Oxford Street, and Jeremy Beadle walked in.
Oh,
right?
No.
Yeah, it's no word of a lie. And he's got a really small wanger, but on his other hand, it's massive.
Cut Rob off, and apologies to anyone. I knew that was going to.
I knew as well.
I knew it was going to go there. Apologies to anyone offended by that. That was poor. No, cut him off. Seriously, cut him off, Ed. That was poor. That was very poor. I knew.
It's a variation on a joke theme.
We're still making jokes about Jeremy Beadle's hand in 2017, guys. Really? I mean, really? We can do better than that. You brought that upon us, Catherine. You brought that. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Now, after 12, I'm genuinely thrilled. You're going to see me go into fanboy mode, John, because we've got Shel Talmy coming on, who is. I'm a fan of 60s music, so I've read all of these books about all of the bands, and Shel Talmy pops up all the time. This cocky, young American producer. There he is. Look with the Who. Look, this cocky young American guy, who the
fag on the go there.
Yeah, who kind of came over and became the go-to person for rock groups who wanted a tough American sound. Now, I'm not totally sure. I've got a feeling he just kind of came over and lied about what he'd done in the States to get the job. We'll find out when we speak to him. He may set me straight on that. But if you wanted noisy rock before noisy rock existed, he was the person that you went to, and he did the Who's, the first Who singles, Anytime, Anyhow, Anywhere, Can't Explain, and My Generation. Imagine that. He was stood on the... this is the thing I can't get out of my head. He was stood on the other side of the glass, barking instructions at the Who as they're recording My Generation. Wow.
But the thing is, whenever we talk to these people and say, what was it like being in that moment, they all have said to us in the past, I was just doing it.
Yeah.
I didn't realise the implications at the time.
And he was on the other side of the glass. He did all of the Kinks classic singles, All Day and All of the Night, You Really Got Me, Days, Waterloo Sunset. He did all of them. And then on this is brilliant album that's coming out, Making Time, a Shel Talmy production. So it's kind of like, it's not the best of. And I thought I knew most 60s songs. I don't know most on here. I mean, there's the brilliant, I didn't know he did this, Semi-Detached Suburban Mr. James by Manfred Mann. Do you know that song?
Yeah,
that is a great song.
That was a diss, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Called one of those suburban disses. It's a great song. And then he's got these brilliant songs, Goldie and the Gingerbreads, Pentangle, of course, Perpetual Langley.
Was that the girl group that you played?
Yeah.
They were brilliant.
The Nashville Teens. He did a lot of stuff with the Easy Beats, who were fantastic. And then there's this brilliant Lee Hazelwood. Now, I don't know a lot about Lee Hazelwood. What I do know is he did some stuff with Nancy Sinatra, and he's famously nuts. And Shel Talmy produced all of this stuff. He worked with David Bowie when he was still Davy Jones. All of this stuff. And fingers crossed, touch wood, he'll be on after 12 o'clock. I won't believe it until he's actually joining us. But yeah, he's got this. I wonder if he's written a book. I don't think he has. Anyway, he's got this brilliant compilation out, which I don't want to be gender specific, but it just dawned on me the other day that Father's Day is coming up soon. If my kids bought me this, I'd be like, boys, I have brought you up well. You have done very, very well with this. So, Shel Talmy's coming up in a bit. You can still call in as well, of course. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. We've got another hour. We've got another hour, John. Is that all right?
That's fine by me.
You're not regretting it? You're looking a little bit tired? We're very kindly, we're in John and Sarah's house. Sarah has got bored and gone to bed.
Fair enough.
Catherine Offrin does that halfway through the show. You can give us your tips on where to go in Manchester tomorrow. Although I need to buy socks, so Marks and Spencer's is probably going to be the place to go. Dear listener, we have another hour. You're listening to Late Nights with Iain Lee here on Talk Radio.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
People try to put us down about my generation. God, we could tell about my generation. They take through the awful talk about my generation. If I die before I get old. Talking about my generation. My generation, baby. Why don't you all fade away? About my generation. Don't try to dig what we all say. About my generation. I'm trying to cause a big sensation. About my generation. Talking about my generation. Talking about my generation. My generation, baby. Why don't you all fade away? Don't try to dig what we all say. About my generation. I'm not trying to cause a big sensation. Just talking about my generation. My generation, baby.
There we go. That's The Who. I don't know what crazy version that is, but there's The Who. We're trying to track down Mr. Shel Talmy, as always with these things. They never run as smoothly as one would expect. That's rock and roll for you guys. That's rock and roll for you. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. The thing I find most exciting about one of the things I find the most exciting about the 60s is that so much of it is just people having big balls. It's just people, there's a lot of fakes and people who became successful in the 60s just by going, yeah, I can do that. Andrew Loog Oldham is another one who managed and produced the Stones, and he got it just by saying, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, well, I can do that. I could sort that out. No one knew what they were doing in the 60s. Now, we're at John's house. John, you were telling me that your dad, he was in a band in the 60s.
He was in a few bands in the 60s.
And he did the whole German Star Club, Hamburg kind of circuit that all of the groups
I think
did.
one of them was called the Magic Circle.
Wow.
And I can't remember what of you. It's too late for me to remember anything.
It's a ridiculous time for anyone to be having a conversation.
But yeah, he did it all. I mean, he remembers. I remember his story he used to tell.
Yeah.
When he was, they obviously had done the local tours around, etc.
Yeah.
And I think it was his dad who was watching TV, and he watched the Beatles for the first time, and he told him, "You might as well pack it in. Don't worry about it anymore. Give up. Game over." Those were the days. And my mum's brother, he used to run one of the clubs in Manchester with his wife, and some of the stories are popular on that one as well. So I mean, we had a very random conversation. We were in Spain on the first trip out with me and Sarah, and it was Sarah's aunt.
Yeah.
And we found out that I'm trying to remember the details now. Yeah, that was it. My father-in-law had been chucked out of my uncle's club for setting light to George Best's hat.
Oh, baby.
Such random conversations you come across.
Beautiful, isn't it? Because the thing, whenever you see documentaries about the 60s, it makes it look like everyone was taking acid and everyone was having a beautiful time. Most of the 60s were quite grim.
Oh, yeah.
Really. But it's still outside toilets and bits of newspaper to wipe your backside with.
Yeah.
That's what most people don't realise. The 60s, there were probably only about 250 people in the entire country that were actually swinging in the 60s. Everybody else was leading pretty miserable, cold, dark. They didn't have deodorant, John. They didn't have deodorant in the 1960s. What the heck is that about, for crying out loud? 0344 499 1000. Where are we, Catherine? What's his...
We got it.
We got it? We got it? He's ringing him now, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see. The weird thing is, it's going to be so strange because this name, Shel Talmy, has popped up. It pops up in pretty much every 60s book and rock biography I've ever read. His name just keeps popping up, and it's a very strange sounding name. And he worked with everyone. The CD that he's selling, Making Time, a Shel Talmy production. I mean, honestly, if you're struggling for a Father's Day gift, go and get this. I thought I knew. Shel, are you there?
I am here, yes.
Hi. Shel Talmy, sir, honestly, it is such a thrill to speak to you, man. You are an absolute hero. Thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
Well, thank you for the kind words, and it's nice to be here, and you guys are up late, which is nice.
We're up very late. We're broadcasting from a listener's house, so it might sound a little bit echoey tonight. Shel, I'm such a huge fan. I'm a big fan of the 60s, and you work with pretty much everyone. How did you end up producing records in the UK? How did you end up coming over here?
Well, I came over supposedly for about 5 weeks because I was young enough to think that I better go see Europe before life passed me by, and I took the precaution of bringing some acetates that I didn't do with me that belonged to my friend Nick Vinny, who was in art capital, and he said, use them if you can, because I'd like to work for a couple of weeks, because I didn't have any bread. And I walked into Decca and said, I'd like to work, and here's what I've just done. And I played Lou Rawls and the Beach Boys. He said, you're hired. So by the time I found out it was all a lie, I had a hit.
I knew it.
I was just for the next 17 years.
I was just saying, man, that so many the people that made music in the 60s, it was just having the balls to go in and go, yeah, I can do that. And the fact that you went in. Now, I'm fully aware of Nick Vinny. I've met his wife Valerie a few times, and he was, of course, was had an amazing ear. So he gave you a couple of Beach Boys discs to bring over, did he?
Yeah, he did. Gave me Searching Safari by the Beach Boys, and I think it was Love in the Air by Lou Rawls, and he did a whole bunch of things. He was a good friend.
What was the first? What was the first gig you had over here, then, Shel? What was the first time you found yourself in a studio?
It was Charmine by the Bachelors.
Wow.
Which was not really my kind of thing, but I was given these 3 Irish guys who were harmonica players, and I guess in retrospect maybe they were testing me, And so I had to teach them how to sing and who's going to sing where and harmonies in my little tiny flat. And we did 4 sides at Olympic Studios, and Charmaine became a huge hit.
The Bachelors, of course, I mean, they kind of have been forgotten now in the musical history. They were certainly a lot softer and more middle of the road than the stuff that you became famous for. What was the first kind of rock record
absolutely.
you did?
I'm sorry, say it again?
What was the first rock record that you did?
First...
rock and roll?
Well, pretty much everything after The Bachelors was rock. Well, obviously the Kinks and Creation and The Who and all those kind of things were the kind of things I really wanted to do.
The Creation, I think, are one of the great lost bands of the 60s. They never, I mean, you know, people that know music know The Creation, but they never quite took off as big as they should have done. I wonder why that was. Well,
because they should have been as big as The Who, I think, and most people agree with that. They had number ones in Germany and various other parts of Europe and in the charts in England, and I had just made a deal for them with Atlantic for their American records, and they broke up, and I could not keep them together, and their manager could not keep them together, and one of the great regrets of my life.
The Kinks, one of my favourite bands of all time. I love them. I've seen them. I've interviewed both Dave and Ray a few times. Were they awkward in the studio? Because you hear stories, particularly about Ray being, you know, very, this is what I want and this is how I want to do it. Did they take production and direction?
Well, I don't know. I hear all kinds of stories. I never had a problem with any of the guys in the studio. Ray and Dave had problems with each other, and when they did, I just, with the other guys, used to go take a 15-minute break. We always, because I always rehearsed before we went in the studio, so I pretty much knew what we were going to do and how it was going to go, because we had done the arrangements and like that, and I can't really think of a time where I had any problems with Ray at all.
Did you produce their first couple of singles that were flops? Because You Really Got Me was their last chance, wasn't it?
That was the ones that Pi insisted I did.
Yeah.
Long, Tall Sally, and they chose those sides, and I said, I don't think so, but that's what you want me to do, I'll do it. And then at that point, Ray got angry, and I was fairly angry, and You Really Got Me. I said, this has got to be the next record, which is, when you heard it was, I mean, the first time I heard it was obvious it was going to be a hit, I thought. And so we did it, and I went along with it, and, you know, the rest, as they say, is history.
Yeah. And you knew, I mean, you were just doing your job, but, for someone like me, that is such an iconic song. When you're in the studio, you're on the other side of the glass, and the Kinks are in there recording You Really Got Me. Did you know you were doing something groundbreaking?
This is one of the songs, I think, and I've been fortunate to have a few of them that sounded to me like a hit from about the first 4 bars.
Yeah.
Maybe even the first 2 bars. I mean, the moment you hear that guitar riff, you know it's something special.
Yeah. Yeah. The Who, again, another favourite of mine, and you produced the early Who singles, which are just outstanding. My generation was, I mean, it's one of the greatest rock and roll songs of all time.
Thank you. Well, that's another one that as far as I was concerned, and I think the band also, we were convinced it was an instant hit, and just, fortunately turned out that way.
Controversial at the time for a few things, partly because of the bass solo, partly because of the distortion, and also controversial because of that stammer, that fade away kind of thing. Did you enjoy being naughty?
Well, that came about because he was doing it, Doctor was doing kind of a joke during rehearsal. I said, you know what, let's keep it in. The BBC didn't love it. They banned the record because it was detrimental to stammerers or something like that. But of course, that helped the record selling. So
And Townsend kind of famously sort of sculpted his songs before he came in, didn't he? He'd record quite intricate demos. Did he bring them in for you to work with?
Yeah, no, Pete had for that time, quite elaborate tape system at home. He was, as I'm sure everybody now knows, was not from the lower middle class in terms of income. He had money, his father had money, and he had good equipment, and he is, one of the great songwriters of the 60s and worked stuff out so that when he came in, he had pretty damn good demos, and it was really fun to work with him.
And is it true that the record company sent My Generation back saying, no, the bass is too loud?
No, that was All Day and All the Night.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I got a telegram, which was the way things were done then, saying, we think you sent us the wrong track because there's all these strange noises on there.
I've been listening to this CD you've got out, Making Time, a Shel Talmy production. It's absolutely stunning, and we've got Father's Day coming up soon, and I'm kind of saying, if you're stuck for a gift, if my kids bought me this, I'd have brought them up properly. I thought I knew, honestly, it's stunning, man. I thought I knew my 60s pop. There are so many songs on here, Shel, that,
the creation, without question in my mind, would have been as big as the Who if they hadn't broken up, because they wrote great songs, and they played great, and Eddie Phillips is still the best unknown guitarist that ever played in rock and roll, and he's right up there in my top 3 or 4 best guitarists ever.
But there's some great stuff on here that I'd missed. Perpetual Langley and their song Surrender. That's just stunning.
Yeah. Thank you. No, she was very good, and she was, I think, maybe 16 at the time when I did that.
Wow.
And she was very good.
Lee Hazelwood. Well, now, I don't know much about Lee Hazelwood, and he's one of those people I keep meaning to kind of dip into. The song you've got on here is Bye Babe. And, I mean, just that voice, that deep, deep voice that was kind of unusual in pop.
Of course, he sang with Nancy Sinatra, you know that, because he produced all those records with her. Had a great bass voice, a wonderful voice. And interesting because he wasn't really that tall. He had this, amazing voice come out of his mouth. And that, Bobby was fun to do. And we did an album for him for his 40th birthday. And there's some really nice stuff on it. If you pick up a copy, you'll see.
How long did you stay in the UK for, Shel?
17 years.
And what made you go back? Did the work dry up? Did you miss home? What was the decision?
I finally got tired of bad weather. I mean, I'm from California, and I thought it was about time to go back and enjoy that. And also, I think it finally got to me because at that time, and maybe it persists even today, where in England at the time, you were often told about why you couldn't do something, and I got bored with hearing that. So it was the opposite of the way I was brought up in the States, and I think it just finally got to me.
And what are you doing these days, Shel? How do you fill your time?
So I've got lots of things. I'm still actually producing when I hear something I really want to do. Actually, I got an English band I did a year and a half ago called Hidden Charms, who are doing very well.
Oh, wow, okay.
They're getting reasonably well known. And I've just completed the American duo, or kind of like a modern-day Simon and Garfunkel. With original songs, I did some old stuff with them as well, and they're in the process of trying to get themselves a deal, so we'll see what happens.
Have you written a book, Shel? Are you going to write a book?
I beg your pardon?
Have you written a book, or are you planning to?
I've actually written novels, and I did actually also have a book publishing company. Do I plan writing a book in my my autobiography? No. The reason being that I've got studio stories, which in no way compare with road stories.
Yeah.
And I don't think that I could entertain somebody for an entire book by telling them studio stories.
Really? I honestly, man, I know you could. I would love it. Shel, honestly, and I say this, and I you know, we only get people on this show that I like. You are an absolute legend, sir, and you have got a well-deserved place in musical history. So I just want to say thank you very much.
Thank you for the kind words. I do appreciate it, and I'm happy to have done all that, and I'm happy that I'm still able to do something. So here we still all are. And unfortunately, lots aren't.
Well, exactly. Not everyone made it this far, man. You've got that. That's an achievement. Shel, it's an absolute pleasure to talk to you, man. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much
Good night,
indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Shel Talmy. The album is Making Time, a Shel Talmy production. Yeah. Let's go to a break while we all just calm down a little bit, shall we? Thank you.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Oh, Catherine, please, gosh, throw another bucket of water over me. I mean, Shel Talmy, honestly, just an absolute gentleman. You ever thought about writing a book? No, I've only got studio stories. I don't think I could entertain people for a whole book. Shut up, man! Shut up! You were there! You were there!
I wonder how much of it is professional discretion, because he must have seen some stuff.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But that absolute, I knew it, I love it. The fact that he rocked up in London with a couple of discs produced by Nick Venet, who's this amazing, I kind of know his wife a little bit, this guy that sort of discovered the Beach Boys, and handed them over and went, yeah, I did these. Oh, great, come and work with us then. It's just, I mean, if you did that now, and you got found out, there'd be a huge scandal, you'd be outed on Twitter, outed on the papers, a scandal, but then it's just chutzpah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the balls are going in with surfing Safari going, I produced that.
Also, the fact there's no Google.
Yeah, there's no Google. And the thing, the advantage he had, whenever it was, 1962, whenever, he was American.
Yeah.
And being an American in 1962 was even today, but then was still a very glamorous, wonderful, wonderful thing to be. And what a lovely guy. If we'd been in the studio, I would have spoken to him a bit longer. It's just a bit weird doing it with these headphones and this silly microphone. But you know, the Creation, Manfred Mann, the Kinks, the Who, Pentangle, Davy Jones, which of course was David Bowie, the Easy Beats. It's just...
Who was the 16-year-old again? Because I'm going to do some research on
Perpetual Langley.
Which we thought was a girl band, but actually, a girl group. Actually, it's probably one woman, isn't it?
It's a proper full-on Spectre pastiche.
Beautiful.
But done stunningly.
I'm going to look her up.
Yeah, well, let's... I wonder if she's still around. Well, she was
only 16 then, there's every chance.
Yeah. Oh, Shel Talmy. I really wanted to... I couldn't tell him how much I loved him.
I think you did.
I hope he got it. I hope he got it. Lane's on the line. Evening, Lane.
I love him, and I've never even met him.
Wasn't he?
Class.
He's just delightful, and also, and I hate to keep saying this, 79 years old, and as bright as a button, completely clued in, that guy.
Yeah, man. I keep, every now and again, I get sort of sucked into thinking, well, I really was like, should have been born 2 decades earlier.
Well, they still had outside toilets, and you had to wipe your bum with newspaper. So no, but the reason we got Shels, because I've been doing some writing for Record Collector, and they sent me over a book to review, and they said I'll just bung a load of CDs in, don't need a review, just thought you might like them, and one of them was this Shel Talmy compilation.
While you were doing that interview, I was thinking that sounds like a Record Collector piece in the offing.
Well, I think they may have spoken to him, and it's got Shel Talmy. If you're interested, contact Neil on this PR number. And I was like, well, we won't get him, but let's put in a bid for him. Next day, yeah, when do you want him? Whoa!
Yeah.
Legends!
Just gave me his email address straight in there.
Legends!
You know what, man? When I was maybe about... When was the advert for All Right Now with
what?
The Wrigley Spearmint gum?
I always feel like we're living your life in real time when you tell us a story.
When was that though? It was about 1990 when All Right Now went huge on the TV and that.
Okay, yeah.
Well, it was about 1990 anyhow.
Jeez.
I always thought it was like a...
We finish at 1 o'clock.
I know. I always thought it was like a bunch of American soul geezers because of the voice and all that stuff. Yeah. Till they were on the telly. And then I was thinking they were proper American, and then one of my mates went, no, they used to play Sunderland all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, eh? Didn't get that at all. And then about 10, 15 years later, I was in a band, and this old guy came to see me band.
Yeah.
And he went, do you want to come and help us do some DJing, son? I was like, I've never DJed in my life. And he was like, I've got to place a venue looking for a new DJ. Yeah. And your band's really good, so do you want a DJ? And I was thinking, band does not equal DJ. I've never done it. He went, why just come down? I went, all right, so I ordered it. There was a guy called Jeff Doherty. Have you heard of him?
No.
I don't know, you love reading your 60s books.
Yeah.
His nickname's Doc of the Bay.
Oh.
And what he did, he got...
Dick of the Bay.
No, you'd like him. I think you wouldn't mind him. I think you'd have a good interview with him. He brought all these amazing class rock bands to grotty little Sunderland, because nobody came to Sunderland.
Yes. What's this got to do with chewing gum?
Only not that all right now. He sort of brought free on. You know what I mean? Right. But he's told us he's.
So hang on, the bloke that approached you when you were playing wasn't the bloke from Free.
But you knew him.
No, he was a bloke who set Free off.
Can we? I'm going to remind me of the weekend. I'm going to type up just a little 5-page document on how to tell a story. Because you're all over the place with this. The punchline was going to be, and it was the bloke from Free that wanted me to DJ at his wife's birthday.
But it wasn't. He just gave him the record.
It was a bloke who once owned the Free record.
I'm not saying that. I'm on about the Who. He went down on the lash with the Who. He got the Who to play Sunderland.
What's that got to? He got the Who to play Sunderland.
He did. No, you can read the book. You can go on Amazon.
Nope.
It's called A Promoter's Tale.
Nope.
And it's brilliant. And he's.
Is it dead long?
Are the stories better than I once had the Free All Right Now record before anybody else?
No. He got them up here. He got them signed and going. He gave them one of the first gigs. He ended up being best man.
My dad's claim to fame was that one of his mates got beaten up by Godly or Cream.
Why, Jeff was best man at John Peel's wedding.
Right, cut him off. Cut him off. He's gone. I have no idea what's going on.
I went to the same school as Albert Finney. This is my dad. When? Oh, ages after.
Dennis!
Good evening. It's good morning, isn't it? Sorry?
Not till we've had a sleep, Dennis. You know the rules.
I'm sorry you've been ill, but I was going to say to you, when you were up here in 3 counties, I could have taken you into Bedford jail. You said you wanted to go to jail.
Take me into bed.
I'd not be able to get you out again, but I could have certainly got you in.
Well, is there a tunnel going in?
No, I went there to repair a rocking horse, which the warders had found in a dump.
You've told us this story about 25 times.
So the prisoners had that before PlayStation?
We're going to do that and hand it over to Children's Hospital.
Oh, God, Dennis.
Fortunately, that was...
Lying down next to the dock.
I normally spent a lot of time people ringing me up, ordering meals for while I was this meal secretary of a lodge. And not once soul rang, my wife was sat there waiting to say, speak to Dennis, he's in Bedford jail.
Yes.
Didn't ring once, but she was disgusted. But no, very interesting getting in there, and getting out again was even better.
Well, not if this story's anything to go by.
Hometown now, aren't you?
What?
Manchester, well, I came from Cheshire, which is actually part of...
Why are people phoning me up and telling me their life stories?
No, I'm not.
No?
I wouldn't tell you my life story.
No. You told me most of it involves rocking horses, Lon Chaney Jr. and bowling.
Well, that's neither in nor there, is it? Problem is...
Oh, I love Dennis.
Good night.
Oh, night, Dennis.
Good morning. Higgling knit.
Has he gone?
Oh,
Now he's gone.
He's gone, dear. It's like, it does feel a bit like when your mates are drunk and you're sober and they're all just laughing. You go, I'll sod off. Stuff it, I'm going. And they just, and everything you say makes them laugh more and more. I'm going. Have we got another, who's that on the screen?
Dom.
Hello, Dom.
So when I was 7, it's Apple.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I can't really, I can't really laugh at you lot for doing this because I gave him the full tour of my old hometown, didn't I? You seen where I used to do ballet?
It was so boring.
I used to sit on that wall over there when I was 6.
I did. I've not showed him that yet.
Oh, God. The thing is, I've got motion sickness, so I have to sit in the car and look straight ahead, and Catherine's pointing out stuff, and I'm wanting to chuck.
Well, it's a reaction.
Anyway, don't get done, get Dom. Yes, Dom.
I'm here. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Body Count. Ice-T and Body Count. They were the only black rock sort of band that I can think of.
Body Count. Now, are they the ones that were on the Another 48 Hours soundtrack?
No, it was the Bus Boys.
Oh, the Bus Boys.
That was the London Boys or Venga Boys or something.
The London Boys. I miss those guys.
Well, they died in a car crash.
Yeah, I know.
Horrific. What they called what did you call them?
Body Count.
Well, but what did Body Count do?
I can't remember the name of the song. God, come on. It was in the 90s. In the 90s, the whole crossover between hip-hop and metal and heavy metal and whatnot. And
who was the group that did Mr. Wendell's?
I know this.
Mr. Wendell. It was Dallas Soul, wasn't it? Or...
Mr. Wendell's.
Mr. Wendell.
No, it wasn't.
There's an old man who lives down the street. Homeless guy. Mr. Wendell's.
Here, man, have $1. Hey, have 2.
Yeah, have 2.
$2 means snap to me, but it means a great deal to you.
Mr. Wendell's.
I'm
Mr.
sure it's
Wendell's.
I don't.
Yeah.
I think it might be a De La Soul.
No, it's not.
Ish.
Arrested Development.
Yes.
There we go.
Right.
But they weren't rock.
No, they were.
Maybe, and I'm going to say it,
hip-hop.
and this is a real bombshell to drop near the show. Black people, it would appear, don't rock. No, it would appear they don't rock. The fact that they're...
Because maybe having soul means you can't rock.
We're being slightly tongue-in-cheek and slightly generalistic, but you would think that there would be more black rock bands, or rock bands at least fronted by...
Sorry, I was calling Iain Lee. I seem to go on to Katie Hopkins and
Yeah, isn't he awful?
And I think it's a good thing. Leave rock music to the white people, guys. Unbelievable. Well, no, I just think it's an interesting phenomenon. How's life treating you, Dom? How's things going?
Yeah, not bad. I was wondering if you wanted to lift to the Frank statue tomorrow.
Do you know what? I am probably going to stay in bed all day tomorrow because I am absolutely shattered. I'm kind of dreading the show tomorrow night because it's going to be hard work.
Well,
and I'm really not. Well, look at me, Catherine. I'm lying down next to a giant dog.
I know. I've tweeted it.
Oh, you absolute. That is copyright.
But the thing is, right?
That is abusing me. That is abusing. This is a working dog.
Well, he's not working now, is he?
Well, no,
he's just taking his batteries out.
You called a dog a prostitute.
Say,
oh, now,
Dom, you have crossed the. You're lucky Sarah's in bed. Although that will be replayed to her tomorrow.
I think of them as the Manchester Massive tomorrow night. Right?
Yeah.
They're an untapped resource at this point, aren't they?
We've only sold 3 tickets for the show in July.
Well, maybe it'll be 3 absolute corkers.
We've sold 3 tickets.
But July's a long way away.
Well,
I've not got mine yet.
3. That is.
It's a magic number.
I'm tempted to call in sick now.
No.
For it.
No.
Listen, the Manchester crowds are just the same as the Southern crowds. Just when the pies are thrown at you, they've got gravy on. That's the only difference.
Oh, delicious though. Moist.
Moist.
Actually, that's what I want to do. I want a pie.
Good.
What? I
thought
No, meat and potato pie.
Meat and potato pie? No. I'll put a potato and meat now. You want a nice cheese and onion.
When I was pregnant, I sent my husband to the chippy and I said, can you get me a meat and potato pie and chips? And he came back and he said they looked at him as if he'd asked for a lobster. Oh, we don't do that. You can have a meat pie. No, it's meat and potato.
It's like the Matt Lad song, isn't it? It's no chips in no gravy and what's a salaloy.
You're right, Ian. You're awake.
I'm
very tired.
He's having a little day.
I've never done the show lying down before. One of my favourite shows I did at Absolute, you may have heard this one, Dom, as you are the keeper of those tapes. Was,
when you made a den.
We made a den. Made a den in the studio. Did Eloise make one in her studio as well?
No, it's Davis, unfortunately.
Oh, God.
You brought in the sheets from home and
brought in the sheets from home and made a den and did the show under a den.
What did you do? Two chairs or the clothes maiden?
No, chairs. We had, there was a hanging microphone, so we kind of had it up on there that covered most of the desk. Oh, it was beautiful.
Was it just you in there?
Yeah, did the show. But this was great.
How did you signal for breaks in that?
I did the breaks myself. I was running the desk.
Oh, right, okay.
But here's the thing. Loads of parents, primarily dads, but loads of parents phoned up the next day to say that I had inspired them to build a den with their kids.
Brilliant.
I am helping parents who haven't got any imagination because they've been dumbed down. I am helping remind them what the joys of life. So on Monday's show, we're going to do it up a tree.
You probably had a lot of mothers ringing up the day after saying, "Where the hell are my sheets and why have they got footprints all over them?"
Yes. Tuesday show, we're going scrumping.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you know what scrumping is?
Yes, I read Just William.
Yeah, we're going to go I used to go scrumping with my granddad.
Did you?
Yeah, Granddad Bill.
But you are from the olden days.
Oh, you nearly.
We went fishing for sticklebacks and we put them in my granddad's pond with his koi. And the koi ate them and died.
Oh, you've been listening to Lane's stories.
Cheeky swine.
The next bank holiday, it's a quiz.
And those koi carp knew someone who knew Jeremy Beadle.
Dom, I'm going to bid you adieu.
Bye. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Ta-ta, see you tomorrow night. 0344.
I'll see you tomorrow night.
What does that even mean? 499 1000 is the telephone number. The last 20 minutes of the show. It's perhaps the most relaxed ending to any show we've ever had. I'm lying down on a very, very comfy blankie.
It's like Marvin Gaye.
What do you mean like Marvin Gaye? You're going to shoot me, Dad?
No,
With a gun that he bought.
Too soon.
With a gun that he bought.
He used to lie down and sing, didn't he? That's why he got that laid-back attitude.
But that was only because he was getting such a massive boner that he would faint. He would faint. He couldn't get into this. The whole album couldn't get recorded because of his erection. 0344 499 1000. Late nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over. Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Lots of people, of course, suggesting Skunk Anansi. Yep, with its skin.
Fair enough, actually.
Yeah. Rob, who hates the show, doesn't listen to the show because he hates it.
Good.
Has tweeted, Jimi Hendrix, you read, and then
wow.
Yeah, but he hates the show, doesn't listen.
Because we did mention that quite a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. He's
been hating it for a while. All night.
Who we got? Dan. Good evening, Dan.
Hello, mate.
Hello, Dan. What have you called in for on this lovely, relaxed, chilled evening?
I'm on my night shift and I'm bored at my nut.
Oh, well, I'm on the night shift. I'm having a great time.
There's a couple of things I want to talk about. LBC Radio's doing me nut and they ain't answering. I ain't very good at talk shows, so I'll give it a go.
Okie dokie. Why aren't LBC answering you?
No, they answered me, but they said they're not talking about that subject today or something. And then
what subject do you want to talk about that they're not talking about?
It's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like Islamic phobia and that.
Islamicphobia, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's our phone in tonight, Islamicphobia. So yeah.
Yes or no?
Can we talk about it? Yeah.
We can talk about Islamicphobia. Yes, we can. We are always happy to take LBC's rejects. Just look at our list of presenters. So, away you go, Dan. Let's talk about Islamicphobia in 10 minutes to 1 o'clock. That's it, right. That's one dump. Ed, just fade him down for a second, please. I'm beginning to see why LBC turned him down. Did we dump that, Ed? Well done. The fastest fingers in the West. For those just wondering what happened, Dan, who wants to talk about Examic, it became there, dropped an F-bomb, and luckily we have a very clever little technical thing, a delay system. I'm beginning to see why LBC stopped answering his calls. It's unusual for them not to be talking about Muslims, though. It's good, if I'm completely honest. Ed, you give me a little.
Must be Brexit Day.
Give me a little nod when we have a decent delay back again. We'll give him one more chance. We okay? Okay, we're going to give it. Dan, you've got one more chance.
Right.
No, hang on a minute. Hang on. I want you to make sure you know the rules.
I'm not allowed to swear.
Well, yeah, but you just did. So you have one more chance. If you swear again, that's it. You're off. So just don't swear. It's that easy.
I know, mate.
Okay, mate. Go on, mate. Islamic fundamentalism.
Yeah. So obviously, what?
It's hard to put it into words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, they call us Islamicphobia, yeah? If we don't agree with, like, the way they dress and things like that, yeah?
No, they don't, no.
So why don't...
They don't.
No one call... Why don't the Muslim people call...
What?
Why don't we call the Muslim people the Western phobics? As they don't want to, like, assimilate with our culture, do they?
Right, well, you can call them that if you want. But they don't call us... What did you say? Islamicphobics?
Yeah.
They don't call us Islamicphobics. What?
Islamic.
They don't call us Islamicphobics. I don't know... When was the last time someone called you an Islamicphobic?
It's like... I don't know, mate. It's hard to explain, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's a really simple question. When was the last time someone called you an Islamicphobic? Let me make it easier. Has anyone ever called you an Islamicphobic?
Yeah.
When?
A month ago.
A month ago. What happened a month ago for you to be called an Islamicphobic?
Because I didn't like the way they were dressed.
Right. So what did you say to them?
I just said, why are you wearing that?
Right. And they said, you're an Islamicphobic?
Yeah.
I don't think they should have called you an Islamicphobic. They should maybe have called you a knob, because why would you just go up to someone and say, I don't like the way you're dressed? Why would you do that? That's just rude.
She said to me, I don't like the way you dress.
Right, well, exactly.
And I said, I don't like the way you dress.
So she said it first?
Yeah.
Where was this?
A month ago.
No, where?
Shopping centre.
A woman came up to you in a shopping centre and said she didn't like the way you were dressed.
I was having a dispute about some other things.
Right. Okay. God, flipping it. What were you having a dispute about?
Like, obviously, I have a child, and
obviously.
they have a child.
Obviously.
And then they were like mucking about, and then it's hard. I don't even remember what happened, but I know
almost as if, Dan, it didn't happen.
It did happen, mate.
Okay,
I was there.
Okay, you were there. Was she there?
Of course she was.
Okay, so that obviously you've got a child, and they had a child, and what was going on with the children?
I just start bickering, like mucking about.
Right, the kids started bickering, mucking about, yeah.
And then obviously, like she said something underneath her breath.
Right.
And I said, what was that?
Right.
And then, because I raised my voice, and then I said something different. I can't remember what I said.
Okay.
And then
we're having to fill in a lot of the gaps ourselves. Why did you tell a young mum that you didn't like the way she was dressed? That's a bit ungallant, isn't it? Dan? I don't want to, it's almost
It's very hard to explain, isn't it?
I got scared you. Almost as if, that never actually happened.
Yeah.
I wonder why LBC wouldn't put him on. I mean, it's almost as if, why would you go up to a woman and say, I don't like the way you're dressed? Sorry? I don't like the way you're dressed. She said it to him first.
But then she said something under her breath that he didn't know what it was.
Then he raised his voice.
Yeah.
Because he's got kids, obviously. Okay, Dan. Just called you a knob. Vinny!
Hey.
Living colour.
Can I just say, Vinny, John, this must be an exciting moment.
Yes.
For you. You are a fan of me.
Yes.
You've listened to me for years.
Mm-hmm.
And Vinny is making a rare appearance.
Very rare appearance.
Kind of in your house.
Vinny is in my house. That's something I didn't think of, but I'd never actually have to say.
There we go. Vinny, what have you got for us in the dying moments of this show?
Living colour. Black rock band.
Okie doke, thanks very much. Is that it?
Do you agree?
I don't really know who Living Colour were.
Look them up on Google.
No, you tell me.
They are a black rock band from the 80s and 90s.
Give us. Why don't you sing us one of their songs?
Cult of Personality.
Go on, sing it.
Cult of Personality. That's the.
Doesn't sound very rock to
short
me.
Song.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you have to listen to it.
Well,
it's like
yes.
Pop rock.
Pop rock. Well, pop rock.
Prop.
It is. Under if you look up for Wikipedia, they are a rock band.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you've won.
And are they all black?
Yep.
Every single one?
Yep.
The drummer?
Everyone's black.
In the band, not in the world.
Yeah, the band.
The bass player?
Like I said, everyone's black.
Guitarist?
Anyway, how's it going anyway?
Keyboardist?
Yes.
Singer?
Yeah, and the violin man.
Manager?
No, I think he might be white.
Okay, he's a white manager.
Yeah.
What about all their parents?
They must be black, unless they adopted them.
Yeah, exactly. Could be adopted by white people.
Mm-hmm. You better look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's new? So do you do Saturdays as well now?
No, not yet.
Okay. So what's this thing you got tomorrow?
Sorry? We're doing
this thing?
Yeah, we're doing. We're recording a live phone-in show in front of a studio audience.
Okay. And
called The Rabbit Hole.
Okay, is it like a radio?
No, it's a podcast.
Okay.
Called The Rabbit Hole.
Okay. Is it in a studio audience? Audience, you said? Yeah.
There'll be an audience there.
Where?
What?
Where is it?
Well, where are we tonight?
I don't know.
Manchester, mate.
Okay, I'll follow you in the radio studio.
You thought we were in the radio, okay.
Yeah. I saw a picture of you lying down.
That's great. That is beautiful.
That doesn't tend to happen in the radio studio.
No.
Oh, okay. Why are you lying down for?
Tired, isn't it?
Why is a dog next to you?
Dog lives here.
Yeah.
Dog's tired as well.
Okay.
We should probably just end it now, yeah?
Yeah. All right then. Bye-bye.
I love you, Vinny. Oh, it's too late.
Okay. Well, John, listen, we're done. Thank you, mate.
No problem.
You're coming tomorrow. Thank you very much. We'll look forward to seeing you there.
I'll see if we can drag Sarah along.
No, don't.
Kicking and screaming.
She's had enough of us, I think. Thank you. You've been a wonderful host. I really appreciate you inviting us into your home. Dear listener, don't forget to download the podcast. Thank you, Ed, for your help back on Monday.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Join the conversation party. Countdown to the election on Talk Radio.